Speaking of the
Wow.
devil.
Speak of the devil, indeed. Uh, the man, the myth, the legend. Just as we hit live, we're live.
Oh, we're live. Oh, perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect time. It is. Happy the Alaboom for lovers, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Year of our Lord 2024. They just spilled drink on me. Uh yeah, I don't really have much. I mean, yay, it's here we are.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
That's cool.
His
Nice.
Valentine game.
Yeah, it's Valentine showed up.
Get your ass in
Uh
here.
let's see, what do I got? Well, we might as well get the commercial out of the way. Uh um it is Game Found Last Light, uh second edition. New stuff if you already got the game. If you don't have the game, stuff you can get. We're sitting at $354,000, 3,000 backers, super sweet. Please go check out that Last Light, the 4X space game that plays in an hour. And we're actually working right now on another 4X game that won't be space. It'll be, classic civilization type of thing. And that also plays in a shortened playtime as well. So not designed by Roy Kennedy. I can't really say much more than that. But if you want to play test it, we're going to be play testing it pretty soon for open blind play tests, and we'll be doing that uh, on the Gray Fox Games Discord. So if you want to join our Discord and be part of the play testers, you want to see our cool new games before they come out, there you go. There's an option for you out there as far as that goes. I have a couple of grievances that I look forward to sharing once we have more people here. What else do I got going on? Not much, man. I'm trying to think. I was just telling Barry I've got a couple of grievances. Share.
Okay. I have a grievance too.
Ooh, Scott's got a grievance.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I have more. I have more than one grievance, actually. I have two.
Two. Bad week, Scott.
I mean, it's not really a grievance as it is a kind of an odd thing. Let's say a wrinkle.
So
A snafu that honestly was in our favor, so maybe it's not a grievance. It's a joy. What's the opposite of grievance? Did we say a
happy accident.
No, what do we call that? What's the opposite of grievance?
So can I open up opposite of a grievance would be a happy accident. I think it's a good way to put it.
I mean, it's not really happy, but I mean, whatever. It's something that happened tonight that I was just like surprised. It never happened to me before.
Lay it on us, Scott. What is it?
So it's really not. The lead is not as exciting as you want it to be. So we went to this new restaurant called Wagamama. Have you heard of Wagamama?
Never, but it sounds
It's an
awesome.
international restaurant. It's in London. Came out of London. We went there when Michelle and I first started dating. We went to London together.
Okay.
To see. I guess she was testing me. I didn't know that was. She told me tonight that was testing me. I'm like, what? Okay.
How was she tested you?
To see if she could travel with me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Some people just freak.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So we went to London. This was 2002, I think, before Essen. Like the week before Essen, we went.
Wasn't there, Scott?
We
Can't
went to
tell you.
Essen. I'm just trying to think back.
Yeah,
brain. And so the first restaurant we went to in London was Wagamama. And that is now in Dallas. They opened one up here recently. It's a Asian noodle place, like Asian inspired. I mean, it's basically Asian food, Asian noodles, ramen, soba, udon, that stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
So we had a nice dinner. We had, you know, nice big, it was about $100, all said and told, whatever. And the waiter comes by and he's like, "Did you guys pay already?" I'm like, "No, we don't have the bill." He goes, "You sure?" I'm like, "Pretty sure." He said, "Okay, hold on a second. I'll be right back." And then he looks across the next table over and he sees a bill and it's paid. Like the bill is like it's one of those, like had been paid, and they left the check there on the table. And they're like, he goes, hmm. He looks at it and he goes, "Well, they paid your bill." I said, "Well, we'll pay theirs." And so he brings that over and it's like $20 less.
Hmm.
So I'm like, okay, fine. I mean, if you're okay with that, and I guess they're obviously okay with it because they
Yeah, it evens
paid the
out.
bill.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's kind of a funny little. Never had that happen where someone mixed up the bills. So he was one of those waiters that didn't write anything down.
Uh,
You remember those kind of waiters?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah,
want to
And then
impress
they
you with
come
the
back and
fact
they're
that
like, "What did you order again?" I'm like, "You should know this. You
yeah.
have to write."
yeah.
Here's the thing. He wrote everything down on my placemat. All the numbers because everything there is ordered by number. It's like a thing. I mean, it's kind of a nice place. It's not they have
I
full
mean, I
wait,
get it. You're
but you
trying to
order by
impress
number.
them. You're trying to impress them by like going, "Hey, I can get your orders. I
Well,
got it all up here," kind of
I
thing.
always, but he kept coming by and be like, "Did you guys get all your stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, do you not have your little? You're like, I don't know. It was just odd. It was an odd waiter.
Mm.
His name is he was a nice guy. I mean, he's really sweet. His name is Dolly, and I said, "Oh, that's your real name?" He goes, "I go, is that your given name?" And he goes, "That's my last name." I'm like, okay, Dolly, like
Mm.
Dolly, like Dali or Dlly. I don't know which one it is. So anyway, it was kind of a little something that has never happened to me in all the years I've gone. No one has ever accidentally paid our bill, whereas the bill they were left behind was less than the bill that we had
All right.
tallied up. Anyway, it all worked out. And I said, "Look, dude, if you're fine with it, I'm fine with it. I'm not going to argue too much."
There's
Okay.
a there's a uh Mongolian uh grill place that my wife and
Barbecue.
I what?
Barbecue.
Yeah.
Mongolian.
Uh, well, no, it's one of those things where you take your noodles, you take everything you want, you throw the sauces in, and
Yeah,
they
you
cook that
prepare
for
your
you.
dish and you hand it to them and you sit there for 5 minutes and you wait.
Yeah, I refuse
They
to
give
do
it to
that.
you. Yeah, yeah. I like that, but I don't like it.
I refuse to
But
do
I
that.
don't know.
Ted tried
I
to get me
mean,
to do it with
It
that
feels
fondue stuff.
unhygienic in COVID times, but
Yeah.
whatever.
yeah, I mean they were pretty much shut down over COVID. But
Yeah, I mean, COVID's over, right?
no, yeah, it's not a thing anymore. Come on. No,
I thought I
so
had COVID too, by the way. Anyway, let's go.
no, so
Yes, at least their bill was not $180.
there you
That
go.
would have been annoying. I would have been like, I don't know, man. I don't think I want to pay it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pay the family of eight,
Yeah,
just
where they
whatever.
paid our
Yeah.
two-person people of two, and no, it was just
Yeah.
a couple. It was just another couple.
So, no, like my wife and I, we would go there on dates all the time, and then it was kind of weird because they kind of saw us. It was like, hey, we're dating, and hey, all of a sudden, like we have a kid, and then like we come there with a kid, and they were all like, and so they kind of noticed that, like, and then when the guy who owned it was you catch him there working all the time just because he would he doesn't pay himself save money. Oh, excuse me. Um, like about once every 5 or 6 times, he would just come over to our table because we go there 2 3 times a week. Sometimes just it was just crazy. And he goes, "Hey, I got you covered today. Just make sure you tip. Just tip
Oh,
your
that's
waiter
nice.
well."
Yeah.
It was just crazy. I mean, it's just like you would come over and just like, yeah, that happened like all the time. And then, like 5 6, I mean, this is like a year ago. But we were there, all four of us, my family, were eating, and uh, I don't even know how it came about, but like there was this guy there, and I kind of struck up a conversation with him a little bit, and we were just kind of chewing the fat a little bit. I don't know if he had a shirt on that I recognized or something. And he just was kind of talking about whatever, and and I was talking to him about whatever, and as you're waiting in line for your stuff to get cooked so they can hand it to you. And I just kind of like, we just, and he was like, oh, is this your family? And I was like, yeah, and then he was kind of talking about the fact that like, oh, I work at this manufacturing plant, and I was like, you got kids? He's like, no, but the woman I'm seeing has kids, and they're really awesome. Dad's out of the picture, and kind of, and he asked me a few questions about being a dad, and I kind of, something kind of, like it was one of those, it wasn't like just, oh, hey, how about them Vikings kind of conversations. It was actually kind of a little more in depth. And then, all of a sudden he just, like we were sitting there, and then, he just went there and he's eating by himself, and then all of a sudden the waitress came over and he's like, hey, just so you know, you're a gentleman actually approached us and asked to pay for your meal. And I was like, and then they're like, who? And he's like, oh, he said you didn't want to say who. But I put two and two together, and I realized it was that guy. It was like, I was like, well, that was really nice of that guy. I mean, it was just like one of those things.
There's some nice people in the world sometimes.
Yeah, rarely. However,
just depends on where you go.
However, here's one.
It is
here's
Minnesota.
one. Here's one where they weren't nice.
So
I
here's that with a grain of salt, Scott.
here's the grievance I had. So, there is. Are you familiar with the Dairy Queen establishment?
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard of the Dairy Queen. They have the what's
Blizzard.
it called?
The Blizzard. The Blizzard. The
and the Buster Parfait and all that kind of stuff, right? Like
yeah.
Like a Dennis the Menace was their mascot, wasn't for a while.
For a long, I think in
I
some
think it was, yeah.
some way it still is, maybe. Who knows? Regardless, there is a Dairy Queen that almost like right after my wife and I built a house in the area we're in, this Dairy Queen got built in like the parking lot of this where the strip mall is. And it's just, how like they'll have restaurants in like the parking lots, they just kind of chew up a bunch of the parking spaces, but then they just plop a thing down there. Anyway, so it's got a drive-through and everything. And occasionally, like, if I'm if I'm out doing something like I was last Saturday, I was judging a speech tournament at West Fargo High. And I was on my way home, and I sent a text to my family. I said, hey, heading home. Anybody need anything? And then they all chimed in. They wanted ice cream. I was like, is Dairy Queen fine? They're like, yeah, sure. So I was like, all right, I'll pull through the old drive-thru at the Dairy Queen, and I'll get
no dipped cones. You can't get dipped cones there, though. I guess if you're.
No, they have dipped cones.
If you're delivering it, though, how are you going to carry that?
Well, you get they have little like drink trays that are made for that stuff. Yeah.
Do they have cone trays?
Well, and also what they use. Oh, excuse me, man. I don't know why I'm yawning so bad. They'll take a cup and they'll put the cone upside down in the cup, and then they'll put the cup. But anyway, regardless.
But if it's dipped, then okay, whatever.
Regardless, they all wanted.
I like the dipped cone at Dairy Queen, man. That's my jam.
It was like. I'm guessing it was like 4:00 on a Saturday, because that's about when I was done. And so I pull in. And there's a fair number of people in the drive-thru, which fine, whatever, it happens, So I'm waiting for my turn to pull up the little sign so I can tell them what I want. And so I'm sitting there, and the car goes forward and I go forward, and the car goes forward and I go forward. And I had like 3 Blizzards stored, and a Butterfinger from 2 cookie dough Blizzards. And so I finally get up to the thing, and I wait about 30 seconds or so, and this person's voice sounded like a younger woman. Said
that ageist plant.
Said
could have been a young teenage boy.
Just very quickly said,
Sexist
I'll be with you in a moment. Which happens, right? They're busy. They hear the thing go, so they know, that they got drive-through, the ching ching, whatever, the bell, whatever it is, they're alert. And I said, cool. And so again, I was listening to a podcast, just and then listening to this podcast or whatever, and talking about
Time to podcast.
Yeah.
What was the time to podcast there? Half hour?
It's so I'm sitting there and I'm watching as like, because it was bumper to bumper, like people, right? But there's nobody behind me. And so we're sitting there pulling through, and then they go, and then there's going, and they're going, and I'm sitting there and I'm seeing it, and all of a sudden there were like 5 cars ahead of me, and now there's like 2, and I'm like, why haven't they? So I said, hello, and like nothing. So I'm waiting, and finally the next car, there's one finally car, and I'm watching this, and they're going, and then looks like, okay, they hand a bag of stuff to them, and they pull off. So I turn and I'm looking at the thing. Hello? So I look, and so I'm listening to this podcast, and I'm like, and I realize that, like, I look at the clock on my car, my pickup, and I'm looking at it, and it's like 4:05, and I'm sitting there staring at this, and while I'm staring at it, it's like 4:06, and I was like,
he's stood the whole time.
I go, hello. Then it's like 4:07.
And now the horns are growing out of his helmet.
And like it's 4:08.
How far away from the window? Is it around the corner, or was it just a straight?
No, I can see the cars. So I mean,
I feel like Dairy Queen doesn't do a corner around the corner thing. It's all straight, like straight.
Yeah. So I mean, like if you like happen to,
because they're like a walk-up window.
And so I was sitting there,
at least the one I know,
and I was like,
mine doesn't.
And I was just kind of. Then I look over and it's like, and I'm just kind of listening to this thing, and it's talking about, outer space stuff or whatever. It's like
aliens, Bigfoot.
Yeah, and it's like then it's 4:11. And I sit there and I'm staring at I'm just down. I'm like, hello, and like nothing. And I'm sitting there and I'm waiting, and I'm like. And it turns to 4:12, and I said, if this gets to 4:13, I'm driving up to the window. And I'm just at this point, and finally, there's this and it's just like, have you ordered? It's just like, no. I said, I've been sitting here for 10 minutes. Oh, this chipper voice. Well, go ahead and order whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Not
like you could have done that already.
I'm the idiot. And I said
they're waiting on you, man. They're waiting on you.
Why did you order?
Not their fault you're sitting out there like an idiot.
And so I was sitting there, and so
you were the okay. Go ahead.
So I'm sitting there.
You've got the worst story.
I think
the best stories. Making me laugh for sure.
So I order my 3 blizzards. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever, stuff happens. But I was fuming, like, and then when that person says, "Oh, well, just go ahead and order whenever you're ready,"
he's bringing out the war axe.
Don't let us hold you back. Come on.
What's your problem? So I pull up to the front, and it's like, oh, it's $16 or whatever. So I hand them.
Dairy Queen is cheap too, by the way. Still cheap, pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's
comparatively.
It's not bad. Yeah, and I hand them
$16.
I hand them their money. I make the transaction, and I said, what was the holdup? It's like, why was I sitting back there? Why was I sitting back there for like 10 minutes?
You made a mistake. Yeah.
And this girl's looking at me, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then she kind of like scuttles away like a fiddler crab, just kind of like sides, like And so I'm sitting there, and and she must have gone to somebody like, there's an angry dude in the thing. And here's the deal: they had those. Usually, when I order those blizzards, it like takes them forever to get them done. Like you're sitting there and you're waiting.
They probably
were
didn't
done.
blend them.
they were done in like 20 seconds. They must have said, "Oh shit, you screwed this guy." And like, so they were like, "Argh," they were done, you know, like done seconds or whatever. And so I sit there, and then they must have sent they just sent some guy there, and I was like, and I said, what was the holdup? Why was I sitting there for 10 minutes? And he said, "Oh, we're really busy." And I said, there's nobody behind me. How many people do you have inside eating? And the guy said,
"You were just asking for it."
Well, because he's handing me my food. He can't spit it
opening
now.
the Pandora box there.
He can't spit in it now. You know,
can't just move on.
And I sit there, and I was like, there's nobody behind me. There's nobody in front of me. I said, what do you mean you're busy? And he said, and he was like,
well, there was 5 cars in front of you. I mean,
and he said, well, it's just we got a lot of stuff going on. And I was just,
we got a lot of blizzards, man. We got to make a lot of the blizzards are.
Yeah, blizzards.
The blizzard machine is not.
There's only 2 of them
for full capacity today, so.
There's 2 mixers for all Minnesota.
And so I had the food, and I was just like, and so then I said, this is wrong. And then so I pulled around, and I pulled it because I wanted to see how many people are eating inside the building, because I don't know, maybe it's jam packed with people sucking down blizzards and curly fries or whatever. Yeah,
steak fingers and
yeah, exactly. And so 2 people. 2 people. And if I was like, and I was gonna park, and I was gonna go in there and give these 4 16-year-old kids a piece of my mind. But I was like,
they would have videotaped you and put you on TikTok. Like, hey,
fans from all the Queens statewide.
Local goon loses it over 10 minutes or something. Well, I know. Yeah. I was just nope. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna go.
I'm proud of you, Lance.
But I wanted to walk in there, let them know just exactly what I thought of their business practices.
See, and I thought Jen was insane. We were out, I forget the other day, I forget where, but we stopped at Wendy's to get something to eat. So she stopped at the parking lot, pulled out the phone, punched in her order on the app, then drove to the the drive-through, which was 100 feet away. Yeah. We didn't deal with any of that. They gave us our food, we left. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought she was insane for pulling over the parking lot of a store to push in the orders. They're just talking to the person on the phone, on the speaker thing. I had to rethink my wife's logic here.
Lance, I want you to go full Karen on the next
Karen
on the next
I
thing
can't.
and I want you to get videotaped and put on TikTok.
Oh yeah. And then we want mugshots.
Yeah, I just can't. I get angry. But I was just, I gotta let it go. I let that one go.
Let it go.
I was
10 minutes is a pretty long time to wait.
It was. And I was fuming.
About 5 minutes longer than I would have.
Yeah.
I think I would have parked and we're gone in maybe.
Hold up to a window or something. Yeah.
But no, that was apparently Anthony's here, but he doesn't use his video camera.
So I have a real grievance.
My camera's not working.
Whatever.
Yeah, Anthony.
I can just leave.
What's your real grievance, Scotty?
So I had a let's say an appointment. We'll call it an appointment. Yeah, a real appointment with a technician that was supposed to come to the house and help me do a oxygen test on myself.
No.
Okay, medical thing. Okay.
Medical thing. Yeah, it's a medical test.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is great. I don't have to go to the hospital or anything to do a test.
That's
They
always a
come to
plus.
me.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. I talked to her for a while. I give her all my instructions, how to come over here, whatever, how to get in. I think everything's great.
How do you
This
do? Would you have a drawbridge?
Well, there's a gate.
I
So
just
Wednesday, this call was on Wednesday, or no, Tuesday. Like, by the way, it took weeks to get her to call me.
It always
Like,
does.
I've had the order for weeks,
Yeah.
if not months, a month at least. And I don't even think I have the problem anymore. Like, I'm just like, whatever. So she calls on Tuesday to arrange a whatever I don't even know what this thing is requiring. It takes at least 15 minutes or something like that. Okay. For a Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Oh, like, okay. Friday afternoon is good. I can do that. 2 o'clock comes and goes. Oh, sorry. Back up. Let's go to Wednesday. She calls me. She goes, "We're meeting tomorrow, right?" I'm like, I don't think so. I wrote down Friday. Oh, okay. I thought I double booked. So you're Friday. Got it. That's good. Phew. Like a big, phew, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool.
what?
Whatever. So this is my just radar goes off and we're like, that's a weird thing to say. I don't know, like how many tests you run up per day, but I mean, she said it was like gonna only be 15 minutes. So I'm like, okay, well, even if it's only 15 minutes, if you double book me, I would get, I'm the next person. I don't know exactly. I'm not exactly sure how it works. Anyway, so Friday comes and goes. The 2 o'clock time comes and goes. At 3 o'clock, she calls me and she's like, "I'm on my way." I'm like, "Oh," she goes, "I just didn't want you to be like thinking I wasn't gonna come." I'm like, "Yeah, I was kind of thinking that because it was 2 o'clock, right?" Anyway, I'm muttering this to myself. I'm just like, I'm still here. I'm here all afternoon. She goes, okay, but I'm in bumper to bumper traffic, and it's like I'm like in Granbury. And Granbury's like fucking an hour to 2 hours away. It's like 2 hours away. I'm like, okay, doing the math. I'm like, okay, well, she comes now and she leaves. She gets here by 5. I'm fine. I can do it. Don't have to it's not like dinner time. And I said, look, if it's any later than 7, let's just cancel it. She's, oh no, it's not going to be later than 7. Like, okay, sure. Let's do it. Let's get over with. Radio silence for the next 5 hours. By the way, I texted her. I called her. I tried it like 5 and 6 o'clock are coming around. I'm like, is she still coming? I don't want to like leave. We were going to go out to dinner again. And I'm like, I don't want to leave the house and like have her show up and be like, weird.
Where'd you go?
Exactly. And I'm like, I texted her, called her twice. For a couple hours, I was on the phone just trying to get a hold of her. Nothing, no response. She writes back on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Oh, I'm so sorry. I couldn't make it. I got held up, and I'm like, why is this story different than what you told me? You were on your way. Like, it's just so weird. So it's just completely annoying. And I'm like, she's like, do you want to? Can I come over today? And I'm like, no, it's my game time. I'm not gonna interrupt my day with your issue or whatever it was.
Your buffoonery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so hectic, and I was working so far away. Are you available today? I said no. Oh, by the way, she also wrote me Monday at 9 a.m. But I didn't respond. You know what? I didn't actually respond on Saturday, to be fair. 9 a.m. Monday morning, she writes, "Are you available today?" I said, "Yes, I'm available now." 3 o'clock, I said that. 3 p.m. I did not respond to her immediately. No response, nothing, all day, rest of the day. Wednesday, yesterday. That would be Tuesday, right? I said, I'm also around all afternoon today. This was at 1 o'clock. No response. Oh, then I get a message. I'm working until 6 p.m. at my other job. What is your available Thursday, Friday, or Saturday? Are you available Friday before 2? Before 2. I write her back at 10:30. Yes, I'm available before 2. That was today. Nothing. Like, what is this person? There's my grievance.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I always.
And like, this is a thing I pay, like theoretically pay for with an insurance plan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, this is probably a pretty expensive test.
Yes.
I'm sure a door house call ain't cheap.
No.
Whatever company she's working for, I'm sure is charging up the. Anyway,
I that's one of the things.
I'll let you know if I ever have a test.
When and the thing about it is that and then like my gaming group, the guys I play D&D with, it's like when I know It's the Saturday that's coming up. There's 5 guys. We have a group text, and I go to the group text and I say, "Are we on for Saturday? I need to know because I host." I was like, so I know to like, do I need to put? Do I need to have food? Do I need? It's a process.
You want to know?
Yeah. I'm having people at my house. I need to know. One guy, this guy named Joel, responds usually immediately. Like it's like literally like, I can't make it this weekend, or I'll be there, but I'll have to show up late, or I'm good. See you Saturday. The rest of the people who, when they're at my house playing D&D, this is how I see them. You know, just I know they live on their phones. No response. Nothing. Including the guy who runs, the guy who's DMing the game. Like he can't be bothered to respond. And I just asked, I was like, and I told him, I was like, he's like, well, I don't know if I don't know if I can or not sometimes. And I'm just like, which I always say, you could just say that in a text message. I don't know what's going on Saturday. I'll keep you in the loop. For all I know, you haven't even looked at the damn message. You haven't even seen it.
You're dead in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah.
So here's the question: like, if they're coming over to play and they're on their phone the whole time, is it even fun for them? Like, are they just going through the motions of it? I mean, that it might be time to call a break or something, for like a year.
I don't know. It drives me nuts.
It's the same guys, right?
Obviously. Yeah, it's the same guys.
It's not like different people.
And it's just like, it's also one of those things too, where it's like, I
think I had a little temper tantrum one time when I used to be the game person, like for like at least 10 to 12 people, when no one would respond to me. So I sort of like, am I not worth it? Like I was just wondering, like, what was the deal with the group? Like,
so I kind of did that.
Responding.
I kind of did that once where I just didn't bother. I was like, I just didn't bother sending out the text. I was like, screw it. I'm sick of this.
Do you actually then have the game group, and if anybody shows you do the game group, or do you just
not? Well, no. So I didn't bother sending anything out until finally somebody on Thursday or Friday go, "Oh, hey, you're not hosting," and I was just like, "Well," I said, "I'm not running the game." I was like, "I'm just the person who has the house." But every single text, nobody ever responds. So I just figured I was like, I'm out, and it's just like, and then everybody was like, oh, okay, and then the standard, BS, and I was just like, you know what, you guys can host. Yeah, what do you guys? Which house should we go to? You tell me who wants to have this. But I mean,
it's hard. It's hard to host.
And then eventually, I just gave up on being mad about it because it didn't do any good. So I was just like,
yeah, I mean, if it really bothered you, then you would.
And it's just not worth it. It's just.
I could see it being annoying.
I know. Hey, by the way, Gathering of Vikings in 10 days.
Are you going, Scott?
Anthony, I'm sending the car.
I think it conflicts with TPF.
Well, don't send it to my house because I won't be here.
Oh, okay. How are you gonna be?
I will be at my game gathering.
Oh, well, thanks for your invite, by the way. I'll vote for you if you vote for me.
Listen, I wouldn't make you come. I wouldn't make you come here in the middle of February.
Got a point.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm
that.
Berkey was plugging my Gathering of Vikings on the show earlier today. Well, good for.
Is it an open invite? Do you want as many people to come as?
I don't. It's literally. We can have 300 people there, and I'm not going to get 300 people. So it is an open invite.
Okay.
And I'm kind of waiting for him to show up, but there is an Alaboomer that is flying in to go to Gathering of Vikings this year.
Who might that be?
Which one?
David Villa is he contacted me. He goes, "Where do I fly in?"
David? And it's audience person.
Audience.
Yeah, an audience. Yeah, okay, So David, you are the supreme Alaboomer flying in to come and play. I have no idea how far away he lives, but he is
He's
He
on the boat.
prepared to play last
he's
like
on the
on the
East
plane.
Coast somewhere.
He's on the plane.
he's on the East Coast.
He found a cheap
That's cool.
plane ticket. He says he's got to do a layover in Florida, so it'll be like a long time. But the way it works,
They in Florida. See,
yeah. So he's got to fly out of his way and then up and over.
Yeah, it's the way the
sounds
hubs
like
work.
What? Whose hub is in Florida? Delta or something?
I think so.
Like a Delta hub or something?
There's four places you fly to. Well, 5 places you fly to when you fly out of like the Northeast.
Yeah.
You either go to
So
Philadelphia.
So the rest of you Alaboomers, shame.
Where?
You either go to
shame. Shame on you, the rest of the Alaboomers.
Lance, he'll never let him talk. Never.
What do you?
You go to Chicago or
you say,
where else,
Anthony?
Anthony?
I'm trying to talk, and Lance is over shaming people.
Yeah.
Well, it had to be done.
Lance, we have to consider we have tens of people watching.
17.
That's
like
and they all should be shamed.
Ones of people is not a good thing to say.
Yeah.
All right, so Scott, when you fly out of the Northeast somewhere, if it is not a direct flight, your hubs are usually Philadelphia, Atlanta, St. Louis, and Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Wonder why they got
I've had to go
Florida's
to
a weird
Texas once.
And
For some
Florida
reason.
is the weird one that sometimes you get it.
Unless they're like in Georgia or something.
You'll get it on an airline that basically has a bulk of flights to Florida.
Yeah.
So like JetBlue, if you're going somewhere in JetBlue, because every city that JetBlue services goes to Florida. So sometimes you'll fly all the way to Florida and then take the other flight back to wherever it's going.
Yeah. Coming back from Kansas, I had to go down to Texas and then up to Philly. It just depends on the hubs.
I mean, you can direct fly to like Dallas and Detroit and whatnot, but if you're going somewhere that doesn't have a direct flight, that's what you get.
So yeah, well, hey, Stick H said name and shame us. I will. Stick H, shame. Robert Purdon, shame.
If you think about it, Lance, if one person is going out of 10s, then we got at least 20% attendee.
Shame.
If one person out of 10 goes, that's 10%.
Well, we said
Shame.
10, so I'm going 2 10s. No.
Yeah. Skip Liggett, shame.
So
there you go.
Yeah, I had that last week, Scott, with the appointment thing. So
hey, David got my ticket, booked this hotel, got a rental car. He's gonna be at the Romantic Mood Event Center, baby.
I got contacted by someone who's trying to recruit me for a job.
Okay.
And they're like, I really want to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. You know, hit my calendar, find a 15-minute open spot so we can just have a call. Okay, great. I look at the calendar. I go on the thing. I put in the time. Great. So, like, you know, I make sure that my phone doesn't have restricted numbers on it. Usually, if I don't know the number, it doesn't ring.
Yep.
So I make sure it's off. So my wife, does not eat. She came upstairs to make something to eat and went back upstairs because she didn't want to make noise. I was like, I'll go in the other room. Don't worry about it. So 2:00 comes, no call. And I'm like, okay, he's a recruiter guy. I'm sure he may have got stuck on the previous call. He's got all these things, back to back. So I'm sitting there waiting. 2:05, 2:10, 2:15, 2:30 came, and I'm like, I don't even have a number for this guy. So I go get and find this thing on LinkedIn, and I'm like, hey, we're supposed to have a call at 2:00. Obviously, you got tied up. You need to reschedule. Let me know. I don't hear from him until like the next day. And he's like, sorry, I had an emergency. I had to leave the office, blah, blah, blah. He goes, we can do next week. Can you hit my calendar? Fine. So I go back in, look at his calendar. The entire calendar is booked.
Wow.
He's got like one spot on Thursday. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm gonna take that. So I'm not holding my breath. He's gonna actually call me tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. But yes, that pisses me off to no end.
Who is this guy?
I don't know, it's just some company that
Technical recruiter?
they
Hey,
recruit
Matt.
people who work in finance jobs.
Got it.
So like accountants and
Sure.
payroll people and all that. So
Hey, Matt.
Matthew.
How's it going?
Doing okay.
Well, my other grievance is pretty quick. It's pretty straightforward.
Oh, I thought we already went through.
No, I had more than one grievance. Actually, I have several, but I mean, the other one was basically the dryer that we bought when we bought the house. It's like 16 years old or whatever. It finally died. It just spins, no heat, no nothing. I had and so we were like, do you spend a lot of money and get a new one, or do you pay a few $100s to get it fixed and hopefully it doesn't?
There's no heat at all, Lance?
None. I know what's wrong with it.
It's probably the heater coil. Or
Yeah, no. But
what are they called in that?
but it's
something
1,000 years old and it makes weird noises even when it wasn't. So
that's just age. You make weird noises when you get up, don't you?
yeah. So bought one from Costco. They'll haul away your old appliance for you. Meaning that they take it somewhere and they strip it for everything they possibly can that's worth any money.
just make sure they
Yeah.
take it before they strip it.
Yeah, make sure. Yeah.
I had somebody once bring one and he took parts out that he wanted it and I'll come back with the rest of it and never came back.
Take it all. Yeah.
No,
Costco? Costco,
well,
you said you got it from?
Costco, yeah,
Oh,
free
interesting.
delivery.
I didn't know they did that stuff.
They do anything you want.
It was weird. It was weird. They emailed me. I got one of those my phone call and it said spam call or whatever, but I was like, I'll answer it because I thought it might have been them calling, and sure enough, it was them saying, we'll drop off your new dryer between 4:30 and 6:30 p.m. on February 15th, and I was like, cool. We can actually do laundry because we haven't been able to do laundry for 4 days. And then
did you guys? Here's a question. Did you guys?
Wait, whoa!
Finish.
You're not done.
Then I got another call.
Another half hour,
call
motherfucker.
15 minutes later. There was we're scheduling your delivery from 4:45 to 6:45 on February 15th. I was like, 15 minutes later. I was like, how many more of these am I gonna get? Where it's just we're now 4:50 to 6:50. They haven't
busy.
But I thought it was funny that they.
At least it's a 2-hour window, and not one of those. We'll be there between 8 and 7.
Yeah, but I really want to be here when they drop it off, and my son has Taekwondo, and I have to leave the house at 6. So I hope they get it here earlier. So
that's you were saying, Scott, before you were rudely interrupted.
I was interrupted.
Oh, did your parents have a dryer when you were growing up?
Oh yeah.
Nope.
Ours didn't.
Well, because you live in Texas, you can put your
clothes on. I live in Florida.
Or Florida.
Yeah, but hung up. We had a clothes hangers outside,
we did both.
It was like a tree, it would raise out and make.
Yeah. We had one of those too, and we do that in the summer. We'll go hang out.
You didn't have the line?
No, it was more just
my yard wasn't big enough.
It's like opening an umbrella with webbing. It was just lines.
4 sides,
We had one of those.
Gosh, that brings back such interesting memories now. I hadn't really thought about that in a while.
A windstorm ripped ours apart and we had to throw it away, but we had one of those forever.
Yeah, Matt, in the Bronx, we had the ones you had to reel out with your hands.
Yeah. We had something similar.
Usually it was attached to the fence.
I wonder when we
got to your house.
Telephone pole.
We always had a dryer growing up.
Yeah,
when it gets cold, you have to have it.
Yeah, we did both.
Yeah.
No, so what we used to do in the winter is in the basement, next to where the boiler was, it was just this room, it was like a room, but there was mostly just closets where my grandparents used to they'd store their all the summer clothes got stored in those closets during the winter, and then they'd switch it out. But because it was next to the boiler room, and it was warm.
Yeah.
So my father put clotheslines in that room, so my mother and grandmother used to hang clothes up in there during the.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Or if it was raining, we could do.
The
Oh, I went to the doctor today for my hand.
Oh yeah, what do you say? Or they say?
Stumped. So
Oh, they don't
I'm
know what
going.
the plan is?
No,
Oh,
I'm
wow.
going for. I'm going to a hand and upper limb physio place to see if they can figure it out. And yeah, he says to me, he's like, oh, your work will probably pay for some of it. I'm like, oh, my work will pay for the whole thing.
That'd be me.
That'd be me.
But you don't have
And then,
national standard healthcare and nationalized
yeah,
healthcare?
but not for paramedical stuff
Oh, paramedical.
like massage,
Oh, I see.
physio,
Right.
eye, dental,
About,
acupuncture, all that shit is not
about
covered.
physical therapy. Is that
Gosh,
Interesting.
when I was at the bank, I had like $600 a year for every single paramedical one, so it was amazing. They had an awesome plan,
Oh, wow.
but nothing. But yeah, so then I'm getting an ultrasound too. So
Cool. Well,
apparently here, if I needed a surgical option, it's be plastic surgeon that does it, not an orthopede.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was surprised at that too.
Huh.
But is that
But
considered medical?
if it was a surgical thing, it'd be free.
Okay.
if it's just a rehab thing, then you don't.
Yeah, if it's, you almost want to pray for surgical because then it's like, yay, no. I mean,
Yeah.
it's I think what it'll probably be is a couple of appointments and then home exercises. So as long as I keep up with it, it'll be fine. I'm hoping. So, but maybe I'll be out of pocket a couple $100. We'll see.
So when you're talking about dryers, sorry to change subjects, but my mother's dryer exhaust is under, like, it when it was just comes out the back of the house or whatever, but then they built a deck and so it went over the dryer exhaust, which doesn't really matter, who cares. But during the winter, she always gets like a rabbits who live underneath her deck. And
Nice warm air.
They found
oh
a
yeah,
home.
yeah. It was like and then so she would she'll put like carrots and stuff like underneath the deck and stuff for them and like just and then like I mean she'll probably deny
Built
it,
a fire
I
for
think
them.
she will run laundry just because she feels bad and wants them to have like warm air and stuff and everything like that.
Is that what they call a hair B&B?
Probably. I don't know.
We
I
moved.
found my
That's
new favorite
nice of
game.
her, I guess.
What's that, Anthony?
So my new favorite game is we have a landline because it's the only way we can fax from here, and we got it for free with the
You got a fax?
internet service. Yes, we still fax things to people because some people need faxes, believe it or not.
Really? I thought that was obsolete. Okay.
So nobody has the phone number. We don't give it out. Like literally three people have the number, and it's like an emergency if you can't get us on our cell phones.
Yeah.
So every time the phone rings, I pick it up. And the game is how long you can keep the telemarketer person on the phone until they curse at you.
You have too much free time.
So it starts off with when you pick it up, you hear the beep, and when it connects the U.S. number they're calling from to India. And then you get the person, hello, this is Christopher calling from the American Solar Company. And I always open with, I've been waiting for your call.
Yeah.
And then I say, ask them where they're calling from. And the place they're always calling from is Florida, Miami.
Florida,
Not
Miami.
Florida.
Yeah, Florida, Miami. Yeah.
And then the game begins.
Game is
Sometimes the person will just give up and hang up the phone. But once in a while, I will get the 5-minute curse in 30.5 seconds from them with every American curse word they know, all scrambled together.
Oh my gosh, I want to listen to your call.
But it's like I'm like
you should record it like Kit Boga.
I'm like, you're in Florida, Miami. Why are you calling from a Connecticut number? And they're like, oh, we have all the numbers for all the American phones. I said, wait, all the what is that? What are American phones? All the phones in America. I said, well, you know what? People who are from America don't say they have all the American phones. Oh, sir, I'm calling from Florida, Miami.
You should record one. Just curious to hear it.
It's too much work to stop there and grab something to record with. They're pretty funny though.
Do you have a cell phone? You could just turn that recorder on.
But they call them out. They call them.
Oh, they're calling the house
landline.
phone. Yeah.
But it's fun. That's
Never
my
mind.
that's my new fun thing to do. And every time the phone
It's
rings,
fun?
I go to grab it. My wife looks
For
at me,
some
like,
people.
Gosh,
"Oh my God,
I would like to hear it if it's fun.
I just do it because it's like rather than just going, no, I don't want any. I'm not interested. I ask them questions. I ask them how the weather is. One day I was like, they're like, "Are you the homeowner, sir?" I'm like, "No, my grandfather is. Hold on, I'll get him for you." And I'm like,
change
put the phone
voices?
down. I'm having a conversation with myself as my grandfather.
Yeah, it sounds like Kid Boga.
Yeah, it's
Have you
fun.
ever heard of him or seen him?
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's great.
I may have seen him. I've heard other people doing like
AI is transitioning him to like have so much more powerful what time wasters on his hand. Like he designed these mazes of calls, like call center mazes that go nowhere. And then at the end of the day, they think they're trying to get Bitcoin. And it just hours and hours and hours. And he basically he records all of it so that he can tap in and hear like what the people say and stuff. It's really kind of interesting.
How do you mean a maze? What do you mean by maze?
So it's a maze. It's like they're like a rat in a maze. They cannot get out of it. They think they're trying to get the Bitcoin, like to redeem it, right? Like he
They're
scams
spending
them.
time opening doors that are just leading to other doors.
This is
Yeah,
just
the
on their
door-
computer, or
no,
is
no,
it
it's
an
all
AI voice talking to them?
It's AI voices. It's recordings.
Really?
It's like yeah, and the AI thing is actually quite interesting. He has like some really clever AI response stuff. I haven't checked it in a while, but it's quite fascinating what he's developing.
They had a what is it, Scammer Con not too long ago, where they had all of these different YouTube scam baiters all together in this
They do a live broadcast.
but the whole lab, the whole anti-call center was was sponsored by some computer companies and stuff. It was amazing. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
They had like a hot desk where you could pick up a phone and get a telemarketer right away. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's on YouTube. You can
check his AI stuff. He eventually had to turn it off because it was getting crazy. Like it was definitely going off the rails. The AI voice. But yeah, so basically you would call in and he would say, okay, well, you have to say all these. It would do voice recognition on words. Like it'll say, okay, we now need to verify your identity. So say the word rabies, or something like that. And zebra, they would give them all these random words and they would make them jump through all these hoops. And then they would make them solve like really long problems that went nowhere. Like it would, in the end, it would say, sorry, we can't help you. Sorry we're having a little problem here. We have to disconnect. Call back later. So it would kind of keep them on the hook. But never really go anywhere, obviously. Anyway,
indeed.
I did play some games this weekend.
What you play?
What'd you play?
Played several games actually. One of which I think is very good.
Was it Last Light, currently live on Game Pass?
No, it was not Last Light, but I do like Last Light. I think it's a good game.
But he's beyond.
So the games that I was not so enthralled with.
Was that
the hardest one to come to the realization that I hated it was Bantam West. Have you heard of this one?
Bantam West?
It's an open world sandbox game where you're in the West doing sandbox stuff.
Okay.
Like anything you want to do. It has all kinds of stuff to do. Unfortunately, none of it is really fun.
Okay.
The rules are kind of hard. Like it's a lot of rules, and then it was a lot of like I don't know. It just wasn't. We couldn't figure out how to make it fun. Anyway, so Bantam West. Sorry, It's a Kickstarter.
8.3 out of 10.
It's not an 8.3 in my menu, and I'm pretty sure we played it correctly. We struggled with the rules. We couldn't figure out how the fires. There's this whole arson system in the game, which I'm like, was arson like a thing in the West? Like, I don't even remember any. Like, maybe there's like 2 to 3 pages thick rules of how to like set stuff on fire. And one of the guys, the character is an arsonist. I'm like, is that a stereotypical Western character? I don't know. I just didn't get it.
Why should it be stereotypical? That's the problem.
Yeah, Scott.
But I'm playing a Western adventure.
You weren't there. You don't know.
That's
you
what I
don't
know.
Anyway, it's not fun being an arsonist. It was just not. We were trying to figure out like, how can this be fun? Maybe I don't know. Maybe a different type of gamer. If a different era in my life of gaming. Like, we struggled against the rules. We couldn't really get anything going. It was just hard. We just shelved it. A better game was Jin, DJINN. You heard of this?
I was looking into this.
Yeah, it's a Euro game. It's fun and it's good. It's just I don't think it has legs. Like, it's like I don't need to keep playing it. I played it.
Okay.
We saw a lot of it. I don't think I would really need to play it again. I don't want to play it again. Like, I didn't see anything in the game that I felt, I could have done differently. It was sort of all sort of the same stuff, just different flavors of it all.
Okay.
So really interesting, but not it didn't elevate, let's say. Solid game, worth playing. Maybe some people would play it more than once. Like, they like that game to play it more than once. I was just okay with playing it once. The game I really liked, it's called Oasis New Hope. No one knows what this game is.
Yeah.
This is a game I played on BGA because I saw the name and I saw the explanation of it. And I'm like, what is this game? I was intrigued by the description of it, is where basically after the downfall, be the first to reach the oasis to survive. Something, it's a survival game. No, it's a card playing game where you basically have to get your cards in order from 13 down to 0. Sounds terrible, right? Sounds bad. We had the blast.
Monsieur V.
Yeah. Oh, it's Mr. V. I don't know.
Yes.
Wasn't that guy? Didn't he work for Trick Track at some point? Wasn't his? Do you guys know? I thought he did.
Monsieur V.
Monsieur V. I really loved it. It's sort of like you do one action on your turn, and then you have like an alternative, like gang member, like you recruit gang members into your clan or whatever, and then you send them on missions to do stuff. The missions are attack other players, draw cards, or get equipment. And so you sort of build up your hand, and you're trying to get, and you can play as many cards as you want. Like, if you have a straight shot, you can go 13, 12, 11, 10, 9 and play them all, or you can go like a little ways and stop and recruit another character or whatever. But if you can make your string, you can just, and it sounds odd. And I was like, I didn't quite get it at first, and I'm not really explaining it that well, but I had such fun with it. I don't know why.
Okay.
Something
I
about
don't think it was ever released here.
No, I had to import it because I played it on BGA.
Yes.
And I found it kind of like wait,
even the ratings on it, or all the American ones, are found it on BGA. Found it on BGA.
I think I don't know, something about it. It's basically a race game. You're trying to get down to 13 to 0.
Card race game where you are trying to lay cards from 13 to 0 in sequence before your opponent.
Yeah.
You can draw, recruit helpers, grab from the discard pile, use equipment to travel. There is some interaction in the game to try and slow down your opponent, but there's also a heavy puck element to this one.
There's some luck for sure.
Puck,
because you need to
a lot of
puck.
According to this review, there's a lot of puck.
Puck? I think it means luck. Right? Because if you draw a card, if you need it, like it's, you can luck into some stuff. But since you're going from 13 to 0, like it, or 1 or whatever.
It's like Shut the Box, the card game.
Yeah, basically. Except it's got a lot more moving parts. And believe me, I'm hard on games, man. Like, Jin is a solid game. Like, it will win awards this year, I think. But I don't need to play it again.
Who puts it out?
It's just, what's that?
Who puts it out?
The Oasis game?
Jin.
Oh, it's
Jin
Pegasus. It's Pegasus.
It's Pegasus, yeah, I thought it was.
And look, it's great. I felt it just kept running the same engine over and over again. Maybe a little variety here and there. I'm giving it a terrible review. It's not. It's very good. But for me, it's just I'll play it once, done.
Yeah, I get it.
Um, it looks nice. It has a lot of moving parts, and you will have fun with it if you like Euro stuff.
Euro stuff.
And it's a cool theme. Like you're basically trapping genies in bottles.
Yeah.
And then it's set collecting of genies. So it's like I need 3 blue genies, and I can turn them in, and I can get a trophy. Which scores me like it scores you points, but it also gives you like a little bonus.
Standard
You
Euro.
put-
Yeah.
It has
put
tons
the
of variety
Paul
too.
Abdul soundtrack on when you're playing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
What was that, Paul Abdul? I don't know.
Genie in a bottle.
Oh, was that Paul Abdul?
Christina
that
Wasn't it?
Aguilera.
Christina Aguilera.
Oh, see, that
That's
shows
your pop
my
star.
20 years off there.
my
Yeah.
pop kung fu.
10 years or something like that.
We also played that Rolling Realms game. You know that Jamie Stegmaier, Stonemaier games game
Oh, yeah.
he made during pandemic.
What'd you
He's
think
really
of it?
fleshed it out. He's released about 50 expansions.
Really?
Like they're little 8-card expansions that you can buy, and they're themed to all the games and other people's games too, which is cool.
Yeah.
And we played. I had fun. It was just, I think Mike summed it up. He goes, "It's too much work." Because each little mini game is like you got to think, you got to twist your brain how it works, and then you have to do a bunch of stuff, and it's like a touch too much work for him.
Okay.
I thought it was fine. Anyway, there's my games.
There's your game. Did you play
But
anything, Matthew?
Phantom West was a disappointment because I read it and I'm like, oh, I really want to love this game, and I just did not. And it's weird because the some of the people in the ratings are saying game of the year. I'm like, did I miss something? I must have missed something.
I got a theory on
But
that.
I don't think I can go back and play it again. I can't talk the guys into playing it because they were all as miserable as me.
I get miserable. That's another thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played Beat the 8 Ball with my family today.
Beat the 8 ball?
Beat the
It
8
was
ball.
it was a game I had when I was a kid.
Never heard of this one.
Oh,
And then
I've
Blue-
seen that game. Was
and then-
that you that posted the picture where you push the button and like it rolls the 8 ball
No.
in a funnel?
Yeah, but
then
Blue
you have to push-
Orange games.
Blue
did a
Orange
reprint of it.
remade it. Yeah, I love that game as a kid.
Yeah,
Like, we played
the whole
Blue.
premise is each person has a ramp that has a marble, and then you have a funnel, and somebody puts this larger marble that's an 8 ball, and you spin it, and when it goes into the funnel and hits another ramp, and your whole goal is you're trying to get your ball, like to hit like the main ramp. When you let it go, it rolls all the way down your ramp and gains some speed, then goes into the secondary ramp. And you want it to get to the secondary ramp before the 8 ball does. But if you're the first person to go, you get 0 points. And then the next person gets 1, the next person gets 2, next person gets 3. If you get in there after the 8 ball, it's -1, -2, -3. So you lose points and you play to 10.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is that okay, so really quickly what you learn is that you're watching everybody else and you're waiting to hit the button after they go. But so it's just a game of chicken where everybody's just kind of like waiting, and then you're watching whoa, 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 and it starts rattling in the middle, and you're like, well, I gotta go, if I don't go, I'm gonna lose. And,
What's the name of that one?
just Beat the 8 Ball, I think it's
Beat the
called.
8 ball. Yeah, I had that as a kid. I loved it. My gosh.
You can
Such great memories of it.
you can buy it off Amazon for like $20.
Gosh, I might have to.
Yeah, I bought mine off Amazon.
Is
And
there
it was
neighbor
like,
Scott?
and since we have we actually have
Buying it now.
I have
I've
an Amazon warehouse in Fargo, North Dakota. So it was one of those like order within the next hour, we'll have it free tomorrow. So I bought it, $20. Next day it was on my doorstep next day by noon. So I was just like,
It's worth it. $26.99. There was
Beat-
another game. Gosh, I wish I could remember what it was called, but it was like a dexterity game as kids, and you have to like maneuver these marbles into a hole. Does anybody remember like a space? It was like kind of a space game, and you would like have this little like joystick that you moved, and the ramp would go around like it was a tilt ramp,
The
and you would try
labyrinth,
to get the marble in the hole.
the labyrinth games.
It's
were
not a
heavy.
lot. It wasn't labyrinth, but it was similar. But you had a very small little, like you're just trying to get the ball. When you're, I think it was like a solo game. It was played by yourself. I cannot remember it. I have to look it up. I have to go. Also, do you remember Shoots Away?
Yes.
Yes.
You pull the trigger and you're dropping the bombs. You're looking through the eyepiece, and it's like
Somewhere in my mother's basement, there's one.
and
There's
you're,
one
you're
sitting
dropping
there.
you're dropping the paratroopers and they have to land in the hole.
Mhm.
Really?
And the board spins. It's in battery operated.
Yeah, battery
It's
power,
like
and you actually have to look
it's
through
a
the
lazy Susan, and you're
you
like
look
on a
through
bombing
the
run.
periscope, and you move the thing back and forth to know. And oh
Yeah,
man,
you move back and forth. You're like you're doing a bomber.
Shoots away with
Shoots
5
away.
exclamation points.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
I must have missed this one. So you're reenacting a
many
bomber.
hours of many hours. So many hours of that game.
Did anyone have the Titanic game where the boat actually sank?
No.
Okay, so this game, this is one of those games that people are like, how do you make this for children? So
My brother-in-law has synced the Titanic board game.
Yeah, so it's the
Titanic, and the ship.
The
it
ship
rotates
up, that goes under the water, and then you're in the water, and you have to get to the little island.
Yeah, it's like a cardboard ship, right? That rotates. Yeah, he has that. Yeah, I never. He wanted to play it one Thanksgiving. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to waste the time.
Stand up.
Like, I'm like, I think it might be fun. It was just me and you, but the whole family was there. And we're like, how are we gonna do this?
Yeah, it's different.
I want them to play fun games, right?
Yeah.
the camera's not even on me now.
It is so you're
My
you're
hand.
in frame. You're in frame.
What the hell's going on?
Good night. Love
Good
you.
night. Love you.
Oh, it's the wife.
Did your brother go to bed?
No, it's his daughter.
So, here, speaking of old games,
Yeah, no, she's up
Yes.
what game from your
Turn the
childhood
lights off in her room, please.
do you think is actually a good game? Like it's a game. It's not like a simple roll the dice, move your piece, whatever you land, blah blah blah.
As a child,
Like a game you had growing up.
like strategy.
Like it had gameplay to it. It wasn't just
Gosh,
this
I
is
can't
what
remember.
happens and deal with it.
Yeah, I cannot remember. Maybe Payday.
Payday is better than the other ones. But
Did
like,
Payday have like gameplay? I feel like, or was that just roll the dice?
Careers.
I never played Careers, but yeah, Careers would be that. Careers had Euro mechanics in it.
like Masterpiece.
I never played it.
Oh, Masterpiece is an amazing game. It's amazingly simple, but it's just it's got elements to it that are not luck.
Yeah.
Try to convince people that the painting that you have is worth $1 million, so they buy it from you.
Yeah, it's like bluffing.
Payday
Right?
was our family game that we had when I was growing up.
Which one?
Well,
Payday.
Payday.
Hey, I
We
want to
played a
test.
lot. We played a lot of Life in our family
We never had it.
with the spinner. Life.
Yeah.
My friend had it.
It's not any strategy at all. It's just roll the thing and see what happens.
Always,
And
maybe go to college.
Maybe you make a decision. I can't remember if you do or not.
You make 2 decisions in the game. It's the go to college and get married. Those are the 2 decisions you have.
Yep.
Okay.
And then everyone ends up in the poorhouse.
Well, no. There's a third decision. At the very end, you can like if you know you're going to lose, you wager everything on the roll of one spin. You get to pick one number.
Yeah, I remember
you have a 10% chance.
One in 10. Yeah.
I mean, because you basically had to do it, And the thing was, when you were a kid, even if you knew you were going to lose, you wouldn't do it because you still wanted to be able to say, "Oh, well, I still have." You might have $600,000, but I still have $310,000 because in your mindset you're like, well, at least I did okay, right? You know, like you kind of role
You
play it
wouldn't
out.
gamble your entire life away.
But yeah, you wouldn't you role play it, but like
There's your
as
moral for you
adults,
kids.
you gamify it and you're like, well, I'm gonna lose, so let's do the 1 in 10. 7.
Mm-mm.
Let's go.
Can you
6.
tell me?
Damn it.
Can you guys? I'm just trying to test something. Let me know if you can hear me when I'm talking right now.
No.
Negative.
No.
I was trying to. I wanted to set up a keystroke on my keyboard to mute my mic no matter what program I was in,
Okay.
and I found an app that did it, so I just wanted to make sure it worked.
Okay.
Thanks.
Mac app.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a $5 Mac app. It was either pay $5 or $6 or follow a 20-step process to write an automator script. I'm like, yeah, no, $5 sounds good.
Yeah, makes sense.
Uh,
I'm trying to think of other games as kids. I mean, we played a lot of battling tops. Like we had like days where we would just play all day, battling tops all day.
really?
Yeah. Like a summer
Stratego, I always wanted.
Oh, Stratego. Stratego.
Yeah, Stratego
That's
is
probably
what I
the one.
played. Yeah.
My
played that.
my brother had a board game called The Magnificent Race. And I remember as a kid, I didn't understand anything about how the game played. I remember seeing like the artwork on it was just freaking amazing in my mind. But the cool thing is that the race was this had all these little tiny plastic marbles that were like these basically, and you, depending upon how well you did on a certain phase of the race, whether it was planes or the trains or whatever, you get to put them into this bowl that would spin. It was like, and then everything would like, and all the marbles would like, it was like a roulette wheel basically, and so everybody had a number of marbles in there, and they would like, and it would slowly slow down, and then the marbles would kind of fight, and there was like this one little tiny indentation that like a marble could get in, but if another marble hit it, it could knock it out and whatever. And then whichever color ended up being in there would get to move forward on this race. But there was an NPC. There was a one purple marble, the dastardly Dan, and if he got it, he would win, and you could actually all lose to the NPC.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, no,
I remember the cover, but I don't remember the game.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, the cards and everything inside just looked so cool.
We had a game when I was a kid called The Great Turtle Race. And it was like a 1970s game. And it was so cool. I remember one of the coolest things about it was they had these little turtles that you would race around the board, but the head would bob up and down because it was attached like kind of like a bobblehead, right?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I have one of those actually as a little toy, like a little wooden one. See if we can find it.
Yeah, I also played Merlin a lot. I didn't have one, but whenever a friend had it, I would
Did you
play
guys
it.
ever? Oh yeah, Merlin. We played that a lot. Did you have a Dragon Master?
Dragon Master?
It's basically like Hearts. It was Hearts, but themed as with fantasy and like amazing artwork. It's game number 2, I think, on BGG or 3. Yeah, we were like obsessed with it.
All right. Did anyone have Hot Shots Baseball?
I did.
Yeah, Dragon Master is number 2.
You've probably seen like people make like wooden versions of it now, where like you roll the marble in, you spin the bat, and it knocks the marble. But the Hot Shot, the original one, was plastic, and the outfield fences were like curved. So you spin the thing, you'd hit the marble up in the air, and you could actually catch it, and it would be an out. And if you didn't catch it, it was whatever thing it went off.
Yeah.
Gosh, I never heard of that one.
Yeah, you're right.
One of the games that I always wish
I recognize it though. Milton Bradley.
Hot Shots Baseball.
We probably had that, and I just don't remember. My brother had all kinds of baseball crap. We used to play Stratomatic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I seen that played at a game like once. It was just 2 guys in the corner. I didn't know what they were doing. They're just all sitting there writing stuff and looking and looking at it. It seemed like an interesting thing. I didn't know what it was. So you and your brother played it as kids?
Yeah, we played.
Yeah, I played Stratomatic. Stratomatic, it's not as pro baseball.
There's an easy version of Stratomatic. I don't think we ever played the hard version.
We
All
always
I-
played the
all I
hard
remember
ones
is-
because we were dumb.
But the year I got Stratomatic was the year that Ricky Henderson stole so many bases that his card, if you got a single, you automatically stole second base.
I always wanted to play or wanted to own Stop Thief.
Me
Well,
too.
you can own it now. Restoration Games, baby.
Yeah. I thought about it. I wanted that one badly.
So
Stop Thief or
Stop Thief.
yeah.
Stop Thief was great.
There was another murder game or like a detective game where you were like it was like a computer. It had a computer where you would check characteristics of suspects. Do you guys remember this?
I know what you're talking about.
It's some detective maybe. I can't. God.
So my team is awesome. 2 years ago at Gen Con, I was rooming with one of my guys, and I had mentioned a game in passing, and it was just after my birthday, and he was driving in from Wisconsin, and he brought me this.
Oh,
You guys remember this?
Rocket
I remember
hockey?
seeing that. Yeah.
No. Seems like that's a Canadian thing.
It's
Rocket hockey.
I think it was called different things.
But it's not Crossfire, is it?
It might be.
Where do you shoot marbles?
No.
Oh no, okay.
So what it is here? Let me see if I can. I'll give you a demo.
Only
Okay.
before
Whoops,
I forget,
it's upside
that game
down.
is called Electronic Detective.
Yeah. And I don't remember anything about it except I really remember loving it. I can't remember anything about it besides
You put the card in,
yes.
and the card had all of the little punch things, like the old thing, and you put it in, and you can find out facts about different suspects.
Yes, that's what I remember. And you try to track down the killer or something.
Yes.
So the puck.
You're trying to eliminate all.
Oh yes, and it had the really like character.
So you have this thing where it's basically. Let me just tilt my camera down.
Well, that's not Crossfire.
No.
So you do this, you rotate this, and it goes in here, it bangs around everywhere, and you gotta like use your goalie just for it to.
How does it?
It's loud. Hold on.
Oh, does it eject? Oh, it's like a top. Oh, neat
kind of thing. It's so cool.
That is cool. I'd never seen that before.
It's like air hockey without but it's like a self-propelled disc.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I was so moved when he brought that. It was just such a nice thing to do. That was one game that my cousin had. I never had growing up, and I'm like,
you know, another game that popped in my memory: King Kong, the board game.
Never heard of it.
Do you guys remember this?
I don't think I've ever.
Yeah,
I think
it was a board game.
I've seen it.
Was it
I don't remember the gameplay, but I remember playing it. 1976, Roll and Move.
It wasn't
cover of it had the poster of the movie on the cover.
Now here's one that two from my past. One was called Worm Wrestle, which was great. Which, if you look it up, you can see that there was this electronic, like a wrestling ring, and then there were these 4 metal worms that were all like just basically a piece of metal that was 4 different colors, and you would turn on the ring had a little like metal peg that came up that was magnetized, and you turn it on, it would spin. And so then the worms would like stick to that, but since it's spun, it would go back and forth, and then they would like eventually they get knocked out and knocked off. But the way the board was made is that the board had 4 different colors and 1 for each color of the different wrestlers. And if your worm landed on their own color, you got to put them back into the ring because the crowd threw them back into the ring and they weren't eliminated. And you just do it over and over and over again. I love Worm Wrestle. And then the other one, I can't for the life of me remember the name of this game, and I'm hoping somebody can remember it. A buddy of mine had it. I would play it, and it was a 2-player game. And in the 2-player game, it was about spies, but the way the board was set up was that there was basically there was a border that had checkpoints that you would have to go through. It was like kind of like the Berlin Wall kind of thing, and you'd get to that thing, and you'd go through the checkpoint, and the whole thing was is that once you got to the other side, some of your people would be spies and some people wouldn't, and you would move them, and then there were houses. There were actually like these places that because you had to get the secret documents. So at the beginning of the game, and the houses, if I remember correctly, were 3-dimensional. You set them up, and you would put the like your secret document. Each person would put it in one of the houses, and nobody else, and so you wouldn't know. And so then you'd have people go and like they would walk around and you'd try to find it. But at the same time, you also had people that would try to stop the other players as well. And and then I remember that there were the pegs for these people that moved around for your like spies or whatever. They actually had a little slot where once they got the secret documents, you could slot it into them. So then they would, so you knew they were carrying it. And the whole thing was they had to get across the border back the other way.
Well, it's not conspiracy, is it?
No, it wasn't conspiracy. Everybody thinks it's conspiracy.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like conspiracy, but it's got more to it than that.
But there was like so much more to it. And here's the deal. So then, the thing about it was like,
wait, isn't this the game? Wait, hold on.
Wait. Let me do one other explanation. The thing is that you could like because you would try to like make the people look suspicious, like they were going around and like looking around, and so you could, as a player trying to defend yourself, you could stop somebody, and you could say, "Let me see your passport." And so then you'd have to take the passport that you gave that person because some of them would be okay and some of them wouldn't. You could take that passport, and then there was like, remember those old things where basically if you looked it through the red filter,
yes,
filter out the red, but you could see the blue, and so you'd hand them that, and you'd slide it into it to see if it was like in the like you would win that way too by arresting all the spies, and you could see, oh, you're not a spy, and if you got it wrong, then your guy had to go all the way back to the front and stuff like that. I loved that game.
What game is this now? I want to know.
I can't remember the name of it to save my life.
No, it's not. It's not the Project CIA game, right?
I'd have to look at Project CIA. See, I mean, it was like
Project CIA: The Secret Formula, and it kind of looks like it.
Let me see what it looks like.
It's got the It's got the houses.
There's also a version of it called Project KGB.
Hold on.
Not enough good pictures, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the one thing that sucks.
Yeah, it's got little white tiles, like in the houses. Yeah, that sounds like it. Plans.
Hold on. I gotta see like the pictures.
How slow is your internet connection? Come on, man.
BGG.
Actually,
this is
funny you say that. VGG has been lagging for me today.
Yeah, it was down earlier. We had some problems.
Oh,
that
okay.
isn't the game.
Oh no! Hold on.
It's got to be.
I got it. No, it's not.
No, because I remember because the pawns had a little thing where you could slot the little cardboard piece of
Hold on.
the briefcase.
Hold the phone, Anthony
Hold
says.
up, motherfucker.
Hold on. I think I is it called Spy Ring? The International Spy Game Board.
Are you laughing as you're saying it? I haven't.
I'm
Choking.
laughing at the way they wrote that thing.
He's
They
having
wrote-
an MI.
Hold on, let me look at these pictures now.
Spy Ring.
So when it's definitely from the 80s or 70s.
It was just like I said, this guy. No, I mean,
No, that's not
it doesn't. For the life of me, I can't. No,
Is it
this isn't
Checkpoint
it. This
Danger?
isn't it.
No.
So,
Like I said, I mean, they had that whole thing where you'd slot the red filter in there, and you'd be like, nope, sorry, it's like, sorry, yes, by all means you can see my passport,
have you tried asking ChatGPT?
Yeah,
No.
That's not it.
It helped me find a video game once by doing that.
It's just lost. It's just lost to the.
Is it Master Spy? No.
So, when I was 12 or 13, uh, my best friend had just moved away to Montreal, and he was also our DM for the longest time. And I was like, I went to go visit him for the first time, and he made some new friends in Montreal, which was great. We played D&D and stuff like that together. But then he's like, "Oh, we're gonna play this game tonight." "Oh, what's this game?" And he pulls out Talisman. This was probably
Mm.
1985,
Oh my god, I love
86.
Talisman.
And I was like mind blown. I'm like, this is the best game ever. I went home and I went to my FLGS with the crusty guy behind the counter, and I bought the base game, the city, and the dungeon. And I was in heaven. It was so much fun. Yeah.
Cool.
There's a lot of spy games from the 70s.
Well,
I think I found it.
Iron Wall.
Oh,
yeah.
Da, da,
What
da,
is it?
da.
Hold on. I gotta make sure here.
Gotta make sure.
I'm going to get a drink.
Okay.
And I might have to like try to track this down and buy it. Oh, I think this is it.
Uh-oh.
Yep, it is. It is.
It's
All
here for
right.
$300.
Share your screen.
Hold on. Da.
You gonna share your screen?
Yeah, give me a second here.
You sharing your screen?
How about now? Now?
Oh,
How about
wow.
now?
Look at that.
Oh,
Enemy agent.
interesting.
Enemy agent.
Wow.
So
Looks
creative with
fantastic.
names back then, eh?
Yeah. Look, they even have
Wow.
cardboard
How about
houses. Yeah.
Like I said, there was a board. Like I knew it. It was like you had this border crossing, and you put the people in
Oh,
there.
I
yeah.
keep trying to
I
move
think I
things to
had this
screen.
game.
And notice how like this guy over here, that little slot. That's where you put the stuff on there, and then you have these two guys that you get to move around. I remember you get to
What
roll
guy?
these two
What
dice.
slot? What? Where?
So these
Lance,
guys
I'm
had this
pretty
little
sure I had
slot.
this game.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So here and so it's all coming back to me now. So these were the
all
ones
coming
that you
back.
got to move around and like chase the people on your side, and these were the different agents that you'd have, and some would and some wouldn't. You roll both of these dice, and this die here, the small die, was used to move the agents around. So you had to be really careful because if they got really strung out far away, they'd never catch up because there was only a 1, 2, or 3 on that die. But then the actual other people could move like 6, and it was just like crazy. And then you'd pick beforehand. You have these little passports. Oh, can I see your passport? And I remember, it's
Who
like,
designed this? Is this a Sid Saxon game or something?
I don't know. It's an old.
Uncredited.
It's a
Uncredited.
Milton
Bradley.
Bradley, baby.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Now I gotta track this thing
Oh,
down.
wow, look at
Well,
that.
scroll down, see if there's a copy available.
Yeah.
My mom was really great at giving games to me for Christmas or birthdays or whatever. I remember some of the ones that she gave me were like one called Upwards, which
Yeah,
is like a Scrabble, but you can put
you could
letters
stack
on top of other
I
letters.
remember that one.
$40 some guy wants on the geek.
There
40
you go.
bucks.
Probably on eBay. Cheaper.
Douglas Weed did a video of it in
what was that called?
2022.
What was it
Enemy Agent. A
Enemy
game
Agent.
of foreign intrigue.
So do you think back
Like,
then, if you came up with a name like, some creative name for the game and not like Enemy Agent, would it not sell as well?
Oh, yeah, or not for kids. I mean, it's
Like, I can't even can think of a name right now, but like, for like a fantasy game, if it was like Tower of Druaga, like what is that? Like people would not versus like, Swords and Goblins or whatever. Something.
Dude, Noble Knights got it for $12.
Dude, $14.99 or best offer on eBay.
Well, yeah, who knows if it's even like.
Sorry, Matt, what were you saying, Matt?
I was just saying, like, I find it interesting. I find it very interesting, the naming style of these games from that era.
Oh yeah.
And I'm
Well,
curious.
they had to be on the nose, right? I mean, you wanted people to, like.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm curious.
look
It's
at
like would a lore based name have as much impact, or do they need it to be hit over the head with like, hey, this is what this game is about?
It was called Dungeons and Dragons.
This is a very valid point, Scott.
It wasn't called I don't know.
Oh, was there really that many IPs back then?
Someone with some random ass name from Dungeons and Dragons.
That's a very good point. You know,
Yeah, like what?
I
Planet
mean, I
of the
think everything
Apes,
starts that way, right? Everything's like
Bionic Man. Yeah, there
very
wasn't really
basic.
that many IPs.
But what goes like thing like Escape from Colditz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That
that was
original
based on a
game-
book, right?
But that original game box is very, very in your face.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had that game for a lot of years and I never played it.
Yeah.
I wanted to. Seemed like it would have been fun.
So I was like, you mentioned Noble Knight. I had a revelation the other day. Like, there's a Facebook group for auctioning role playing game stuff, and so I've definitely tracked down some older stuff on there. And every once in a while, somebody will post something, and I'm like, I never even knew that existed. Like, it'll be like some, oh, this Judges Guild, module or whatever, and it's like the first ever module to have a lich as an enemy. And I was like, that seems interesting. But it's like, I might want to bid on that. No, it's like, I wonder how much those things go for before I start bidding and before somebody else swoops in and like realizes that's worth hundreds of dollars and it's like the quickest way for me to realize that it's a pile of garbage and I shouldn't. If Noble Knight has a copy and they're selling it for $20 or less, I don't want it. Because if it was anything even slightly rare or important in any way, Noble Knight will charge up the yang for it because they just sit on that stuff forever until somebody buys it. So yeah, just like I was looking at something like that, an old Judges Guild thing, and I like went to and I was like, oh, I see Noble Knight has 4 copies selling at $14 or less. Yeah, I'm not gonna. No, that's unless it was something I like wanted to, uh, uh, like
oh, what's that
complete a
game?
collection or something.
I don't know what's the game, man.
It's this game where what else guy gets back actually because he probably knows it.
Yeah, right.
That's cool. I gotta check on my son anyway. Make sure he's sleeping. We're back.
Is that right?
You still playing the guitar, Gary or Barry?
It's actually next to me. I was playing while I was waiting for this.
Nice.
So,
I gotta
I
start
had to
picking
get
my
back
laptop
to it.
again.
I recently got back within the latest month. I fell on my wrist and it just got back to
Oh
being
yeah.
able to. Yeah.
I think I'm
Uh,
gonna swap my electric from my acoustic at the office, and the
Yeah.
color scheme goes better in my office anyway.
This is how long it's been since I played mine. I took my 12 string out today. So I haven't
Ooh.
played that in a while. I took it out and I'm like, this sounds really weird. And then I looked, and my nephew apparently, when he borrowed it from me, broke one of the strings.
Oh, I never told you.
And then no, but he restrung it.
I would have brought another string.
But he restrung the 2 strings backwards.
Oh really?
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
For every pairing?
No, just for the one he broke. So like he bought new strings,
Mm.
put 2 new strings on, and they're in their wrong position.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound horrible
Just off. Yeah.
until you play certain chords that don't use as many strings, and then you can hear it. You're like, what the fuck is this? And I look down, and I'm like, that's not right.
Oh man, I said this on the album before, but I got my guitar plecked a couple of years ago, last year
Yeah.
maybe. And do you know what this thing is, Anthony? A pleck machine? You ever heard of it?
No.
So what it is, it's a robotic CNC machine for your guitar. They take it and they strap it into this machine, and it basically has this robotic finger that comes down and it touches every string at every fret on the string, and then you pull the strings aside, and then it touches every fret on the bar, on the fret bar, and then it touches every fret on the floor. And it maps out what your action is like and what the fret what the fret if it's like if it what the truss rod look to it is.
Mhm.
And and ends up, and then you can program it to CNC all of the frets and all of the floors to be perfect. It's
How much
so
does that
cool.
cost?
What's that?
How much does that cost to get done?
A mortgage.
$250.
Yeah, it
That's
is expensive.
The machine is a $250,000 machine.
Yeah.
What does it do?
It's a CNC machine for your guitar.
Yeah.
So it basically calibrates the fretboard on your guitar by CNCing by shaving down the
Oh, I see.
frets and the fret
So
floors.
how far you push the string down on the fret makes the tone different. And is it
Uh,
good measure?
You can for sure. I mean, like
Yeah.
you know who Yngwie Malmsteen is?
Yeah.
So for a while he was scalloping his frets, which basically it basically has, instead of having a flat floor between the bars, it has a scallop shape to it, like a concave shape to it.
Got it. Yeah.
And you're able to bend it a little differently.
I see. Not cool. That's cool.
Anyway.
Yeah, but all this is like thousands of thousands.
Oh
Of
my God.
It's
When I got my guitar back,
yeah.
it was like amazing. It
Yeah.
still is. And it doesn't go out of tune now, which is amazing.
Yeah, that is right. So it went out of tune beforehand?
Yeah, but I think that part of that was how I strung it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like, if they're gonna give me this much string, I'm gonna use it all. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so yeah. You were winding for days.
Yeah. That's why they have string winders, man.
You were attaching yours to a drill.
Excuse me.
Here's a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think there will, in the next 10 years, will there be a mechanic that changes the face of board gaming? Like
No.
like deck building did?
I think with the hesitation to meld the digital and the physical for board games right now that we have, once that
Stuck.
goes away,
Yeah.
I think there will be a lot of advances like
stuff.
that. Yeah, for sure.
That's true.
To me, that's just not playing a board game, though. If you couldn't rely
Well,
on-
I mean, yeah, absolutely, and that is our current thinking, right?
yeah.
But how
Right,
do we,
But
But
remember
that'll
4 or 5
phase
years
out,
ago,
I'm
everybody
sure.
was like, "And you're gonna use your mobile app to do this," and everybody was just like, "No." Remember that
Yeah.
the game where you're gonna use your phone was your pirate ship? That went over like a fart in
Yeah.
church.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like the thing is, good for them for exploring that.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet they loved losing all the money they did on it.
No, but come on,
Well,
man.
someone's
Don't
got to
be
lose
like
money
that.
to make money,
What,
right?
what was that game? Gollum Arcana?
I was trying to
Yeah.
think. I think that is. I was trying to think
It's
of
gonna
it.
be
Yeah.
like the new amazing,
Dead.
Oh, they were gonna set the world on fire, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can get some of their stuff now at like the Ollie's discount thing for like $1.50.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing people at Gen Con with like backpacks full of that stuff. Like it
I
was
bought all of it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you ever play, Scott?
I'm glad I didn't say.
Nope.
You remember the morons who bought all of it?
Believe me, I bought it at full pop.
Did you ever play it?
No.
You just said no. Huh?
Oh.
Man, you don't listen to anybody, do you, Lance?
No, I
So
mean,
I'm still waiting on my Temuhu. What is it called? Tubaru. Tebaru.
Ever?
They've done 2 crowdfundings, by the way. Haven't shipped
still waiting
anything
on
yet.
what?
Yeah,
What is this?
Tebaru.
Hebaru?
It's the digital board game.
What was that? Yes, what was
It reads
that?
the Tebaru. As I'm telling you, Teburu. Tebaru.
Kebaru system.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. We did a stream with it. We played it. Or Link and Nikki played it. It was pretty
Hebaru
good.
represents bad karmas.
Yeah, the bad karmas. Yeah, that was the one. And then they did a vampire.
And
Recent-
they haven't.
Nothing shipped yet.
Don't
By the
you?
way, I just got a Agamonia. Do you guys remember this one? That's an old Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Agamonia.
Agamemnon?
No, Agamonia. Agemonia.
Milan Uprising. Follow on Game Found.
I'm trying to find this game, and I had it when I was a kid, and it's kind of like Hangman, but not really. But you had these little, you know what it looked like? It looked like these little pill dosettes that you could get. You know, the little like daily take your pills and you flip a
Yeah.
little thing, but they were shallow, and you had a little strip of paper where you would write your word down in it, and you would reveal a letter at a time if somebody guessed it.
Yeah, okay.
Well, they have multiple pictures. Temeru's coming out, baby. They have like the last update has like pictures of tons
I'm
and tons of
excited
their
for it.
games on pallets.
So when I saw it being demoed, it was teamed up with Simon, and they had a Zombicide demo, which I thought was fantastic, and that has potential. Like, could you imagine with Zombicide if you can basically
But
make
they
it
dropped
dynamic?
that like a
They dropped
that
out
like
of
a
it. Yeah,
hot
I wonder what
potato.
happened there. Yeah, they did, and I was like, but I feel like that teamed up with the right IP would have been. I'm really surprised they didn't continue with it, because I feel like it's the future. Although printing lots of plastic also seems like the future. Millions of dollars says otherwise for my thoughts.
Yeah,
The millions of dollars keep on flowing in with the Marvel and the zombies and all that stuff. But I feel like the better game will be if the app can like guide you down a path that you can't expect with AI to make the game interesting and not just on rails.
two of the um two of the
Maybe
the
AI.
longest waiting Kickstarters are I mean Myth. I think
Is it
they
shipping?
deliver. It's they say they gave a name of a boat that they said the stuff's on.
So is that stuff standalone?
Yeah. Well, once I get it, I'm just throwing all the game away, and I'm just keeping the minis.
You don't care about the game?
No, I'm never gonna play it, but I'll keep the minis, and I want to paint the minis.
Lance, by the way,
their minis
weird.
look freaking cool.
By the way, you owe me about 8 hours of time.
That's all?
No,
For what?
because I spent 8 hours since last Wednesday on that X roll.
Oh, messing, making stuff.
Oh, it's awesome.
It is. It's really good.
It's amazing. It's the
Do tell.
it's the perfect.
I showed it to you.
That D&D thing from
The D&D
Oh, hex
thing,
roll.
where-
Hex roll. I heard the word X roll. I did not hear hex roll.
It's the perfect skeleton thing. And then the part you didn't show, which I found, which is really cool, is so when you go into like a town and you're like, oh, okay, there's a candle maker shop. And you go in and it tells you about the candle making. You're like, I don't like this. You can unlock the candle maker shop and re-roll. And it'll give you a different candle maker shop, but leave everything else the way it is.
Yeah, it's a really cool system. Hopefully they flesh it out and make it playable. Wouldn't it be cool to be a playable video game?
It is such a cool system that I'm going to.
You gonna buy the hooks?
No,
not that cool.
I'm going to buy a projector for my man cave to watch movies and sports stuff on the wall, but I'm going to add in a mirror so I can project maps down on my game table.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
I still think that I am gonna one day build the tabletopper that you put the TV in. To like, because have you seen those?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
they're pretty sweet.
We use one, but it's just sitting on top of the table.
The TV is?
Yeah.
See, I wanna build
no
one.
plexi, nothing, man. It's just one time.
Oh yeah, I have a plexi that I bought.
Okay.
Lance, you just wanted to project?
No.
The split screen ones in where.
So you buy a 32-inch TV, and then you get this box that goes on it, and it goes around it, and then and then so you can make your maps on your
I know what you
laptop.
meant.
Yeah.
Why not use the Arcade 1-Up board game table? I guess the software doesn't exist for it that you want.
Yeah.
You really want like at least a 40-inch TV for it. We have the 40 and it's okay. I use a program called Arkenforge for it, and you can like it's great because you're like, oh, you just fell in a pit, and you drag a pit over to where they just fell in, or so and so cast darkness, and you just put the darkness spell in down. It's really awesome. It's
Did they
super
target
fun.
the darkness?
So Lance, if you do that, I watched. You have to learn how to do work with Adrenos. But I watched a guy on YouTube I enjoy. He has this channel called I Like to Make Stuff.
Yeah.
And like it's cool because it's not like the other channels where like all they do is woodworking projects. And he's like, I want to make this. So one of his friends, they wanted a game table, and they put this thing in it. They put lights in it, but the lights are programmable. So when the DM is there, and it's like whose turn is it? You can like hit like player 2's turn, and the lights in front of them are the only ones that light up, so they know it's their turn to go.
Oh, nice.
And then
That's
like you
cool.
can program it like, there's something evil happens, and you press the button, and all the lights turn red, or so and so is enchanted. Everyone else's light is white, and that person's light turns blue, so you know that person's enchanted. But
We're still doing it off of Arena boards.
yeah,
I
it
figured
was pretty
technology.
cool though.
Yeah, it is. Some of the stuff he does is pretty cool. I watched him a few times. I made arcade.
Well,
an
anyway,
old
so no
arcade
game
console.
mechanics will be invented, but some technologies will be invented in the next 10 years.
I don't.
I mean, it's
Like what
it's
else?
hard.
Yeah, it's hard to.
So
predict.
I had this idea years ago, and some people said it was a really cool idea, and other people were like, "Well, who would buy that?" The idea was that you come up with. Remember when Jamie had the box of bits? I forgot what it was called.
Yes.
Yeah, treasure
All right.
chest or something. Yeah.
Treasure chests. Yes.
Yes.
So the idea was to come up with a treasure chest thing that was actual like regular game pieces kind of stuff. Like it has this number different colors of cubes and this
Like game construction kit.
And basically is you go to designers and say, here, this is all the pieces you have to work with. You can have cards that are your own, but all of the other pieces you need, you can only use what's in this box. And the idea was you buy one game with that box, and then every other game you buy, you don't need to buy the box again. So you're not paying for all of that stuff over and over and over again.
Well, that was the cheap ass games.
Yeah.
Well, the
pretty
cheapest
much.
game was you get some pennies and a die, and you can play the game.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like a
Yeah,
regular Euro
construction
game,
kit.
everything got blinged out and everything.
I think that would just be so generic that it wouldn't be that like I like custom stuff, right? I mean it.
But you like custom stuff now, but 10 years ago, when I thought of this idea,
very possible.
Everything was just wood bits.
I mean, I feel print on demand is still not in our world yet. Like we're waiting on these ships from China every week to bring us boxes of cardboard and paper and plastic. Why is it not print on demand?
Because it's too expensive.
Is it? I don't know.
Print on demand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's expensive?
Do you see what the Game Crafter charges for games?
Yeah, you're right.
And you see the quality of the games that come from Game
Yeah,
Crafter?
I think the quality needs to be higher and more
granted they've gotten better since they first started doing it, but
well, they're the only one doing it, right? It's just I'm not saying that they're not good at it. They're great at it. It's amazing. But I feel like it doesn't have the full force of the industry behind it, right?
Right. But that's the thing is you have to charge $65 for a game that if you mass produced it, you could charge $35 for it because
Sure.
So we have like I was saying, we have our game table with the television on it. And I bought a custom sized plexi just so we could protect the screen when we're moving our menus on it. The next step is going to be to add a touch sensitive layer with object recognition on it. so you could put
Yeesh.
codes on the bottom of your minis.
Well, that's what Tebaru is supposed to be.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. It detects the mini, detects the dice, the
I'm gonna take
roll.
a look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Matt, the thing they had in there, I don't know if it was Tempera. One of them I saw. Like if you had a magic user and you were casting a spell, and we would know where the magic user's like the starting point was, and if the spell went out in like a cone, when you activated the spell, it would show on the screen like the range where it would go
Oh, nice.
from the little chip that was inside of it because it would read it.
That is cool. Yeah, these are special. Oh, yeah, I guess they're just bases for the minis. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, but once they sell the technology, anyone else can develop, people can develop shit for it. At least
Yeah.
that was the idea. I don't know if it's still open source. Who knows? It's been years now.
How big is this thing?
Well, let me see if I can find the video where Lincoln and Nikki played it.
I'll be back.
Ooh, wait.
Is it a roll-up film?
No, it's like a plastic board.
Oh, it's not that big. Okay.
What was the name of the game they made for it? Something in the seven
Sword and sorcery?
or gosh, what was it?
Bad World of Darkness? No.
Bad Karmas.
Bad Karmas, yeah. Cool.
Let's go. What
Maybe we
really?
never published it. Alex Board Game Co. did a thing.
Oh yeah.
There you
I
go.
remember going 10 years ago to a museums conference, and somebody had a very large Microsoft Surface table.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
And the shit that
Yeah,
that thing could do was ridiculous.
yeah, and where is that?
It died.
Like there is a arcade one up board game table, but it is very small. I mean, it's like maybe that wide, maybe 2-3 feet. But I also feel like the tape, like the physical screen, is not as good as a projector could do. Like you
The
don't need
problem
a
is,
screen if you can project it, and then
but
it
you
can-
get in the way of it. You block the beam, right?
not if you project from the bottom.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're right. I threw it in chat. Alex.
Okay, cool.
Hey, I'm Alex Macken from Board Game Coins.
I need to go to bed soon.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
tremendously huge, but it's big.
It's big.
So this one had like predefined spots that it would sense, so it's not as like cool as like an open world like placement.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I remember like CSI Miami was like doing these really cool things with all the Microsoft stuff. You
Where?
know,
Mm.
with the
Yeah.
they had the Surface table and
Yeah, I mean that's like 15 years old now, right?
I know
Feels forever ago.
it does.
Like if you Google that presentation, there's still nothing like it out there.
I know.
Oh,
It's really sad.
do you guys have thoughts on Evil Genius Games?
Who? No, who's
Which one's
that?
Evil Genius?
Who is it?
Well, they're the newest board game company to be making the step right up so people can take a punch at them. They were the company that they had a couple of tabletop role-playing games or whatever that did pretty well as far as they raised like a little over $500,000 getting those things out or whatever. And then what happened was they actually got people to invest in their company from the outside. EN World did a really good expose on the whole thing. So like they got like investments of like over $1 million or around $1 million from
Really?
into their into their company or whatever. And then what? So apparently, and I mean, again, I don't know the background or anything like that. But then it's just one of those things where there's a lot of shit went bad or whatever. With a lot of different things that happened. But the thing that killed them for sure was the fact that they were going to make a role-playing game for Rebel Moon, that thing that came out, the Zack Snyder thing that came whatever for on Netflix that everybody is saying is just a pile.
Not everybody, but yeah, sure.
Well, no, I mean a lot of people are saying it's a pile or whatever. So yeah, so anyway, so then they were gonna do that.
Oh, that was a Netflix thing, right?
Yeah, and then Netflix basically said, "Oh, we're out, yeah, and we're canceling this. You're not going to do it or whatever." And so then they had yeah, there's a big long story. You can dive into it if you want, but the long and the short of it was that there are people that left the company. There are people that like freelancers who didn't get paid. All kinds of just you can read the whole story, but the thing that I the thing that I of course, everybody loves to kick something when they're down, right? I mean, just wants to pile on. Um, I I am always stunned by people that are like, "Oh man, they got 1.5 million bucks and now they got nothing to show for it." I mean, God, just like they're it's just like one of those things where they're just constant. They'll have an attitude of like, "Oh, I never would have screwed it up if I had had that money," or how could that possibly have happened? And it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, I always get annoyed by people that just don't know how tough it is to work in publishing, how difficult it is, like how like when you are publishing projects, like having something screw up on you, like I don't know, having a like what you think is going to be like a large IP, you're going to make a role playing game for it, and then basically having a company like dodge out underneath it and like just like I mean, I don't know the whole story. I mean, supposedly they had a ton of work that they had done on the game already, and all of a sudden, boom, nope, sorry, you can't publish it. All that work you've done in that game for the last whatever 9-10 months, you're no longer allowed to. You can't publish it, can't do anything with it, can't create anything with it. Now, and you can't sell anything, so you can't make anything off of it. So, and I think they got a settlement out of it, out of Netflix for it for some amount. But I'm always stunned by people that are like, you made $500,000 on Kickstarter and you can't do this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, and people just I don't know. It just drives me crazy when people think it's just like, oh, you got $200,000, you got $500,000, you got $1,000,000 on Kickstarter. It's just like, even if you that $1,000,000, most of it goes towards manufacturing. Most of it goes towards shipping. Most of it goes towards paying off your artists, paying off your developers, paying off all those people. I don't know. It just drives me crazy. But everybody wants to talk about, yeah, oh well, Evil Genius Games screwed over everybody. It's like, yeah, I'm sure they went into it. They went into it. It's like, God, I really want to just blow all this money and have my company fall apart around me. That's what I want out of this entire situation. Anyway, if you dive into it, man, I thought maybe one or more of you may have had looked into it and read about it. So
I remember when they were shopping around their logo. That's the last thing I remember about them.
yeah, I don't know. Everybody seems to think that everybody seems to think you can it's just easy. Anybody can do it. Anybody can publish stuff. It's super easy.
Matt, do you know how to play the violin?
No.
Damn.
My son can play the cello.
I have half the money left over.
What'd you say, buddy?
I could do it and have half the money left over.
Yeah, I know. And
They offered them a $50,000 settlement originally, and he's like, no. So if they
Like
did settle,
Netflix offered them 50 grand.
Netflix offered them 50 grand, and they're like, no, because
Yeah,
the
talk
biggest
about
part about the
Netflix.
whole thing was not the fact of that, is they actually worked with Zack Snyder on it, like, because they had to build all the parts of it that aren't on the show. They had to fill in all the gaps, because you can't just have an RPG that's just about the show. You have to have all the back stuff and the the intricacies of, we're in this town for 5 minutes in the movie, but yeah, but what's in that town, and what's this and what's that and what's the other thing. And
Yeah, I don't know the full story. I don't know what's going on. It will always bug me when people are under the impression that they just know better, and it's just kind of like, yeah, you've never ran a big company or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, did they? Was it possible that they mismanaged the money they got? Absolutely, it absolutely is possible. I don't know, but for like people to Lord Javi, Lance, would Gray Fox ever publish an RPG system book? No, but Next Level Miniatures might. So anyway, but yeah, there you go. If anybody wants to, if you type in EN World and go Rise and Fall of Evil Genius Games, Google that, you'll find them there. You can read up on it there. So. Those little poker chips, Kabuki Kid, I can remember
that was
they,
awesome.
yeah. So, those little poker chips, they sold sets of those. I remember there was like a couple of places online where you could buy them for $15 a pop. And like I forget where the one was I got mine, but they were $15 a pop, and I bought like 4 sets of them. For like
You talking about
actually,
the mini ones?
yeah. And so my sets, what my sets, they came the little Texas Hold'em chips. My sets, what they did was they came with 2 decks of cards and the small chips in a little tiny metal case. And they were $15 a piece, and I bought
We have
4
looked
of
into
them.
that, and you cannot get them here cheap enough to sell.
Really?
Like the cost to bring them in would be like $40. Like, how do you make money off of a $40 price?
You can't.
You can't.
I mean, and here's the deal. Everybody's like, "Oh, I wish we could why doesn't people get these, or just get normal poker chips?" I get the idea that like it's smaller and whatever like that, but I mean, I have, and I have tons of different sets of poker chips, and like I love the Board Game Geek ones. They're awesome. I have a set of true casino quality chips that I paid out the nose for.
What brand was it? Was that
Uh,
Pulse?
no, there's one place in the United States that you can I fear the name. I gotta remember what the name is now. Yeah, Classic Poker Chips.
Mhm.
It's called, if you go to pokerchipsonline.com, they will you basically you work with them and you come up with custom chips, and you go through it, and they're a company that makes poker chips for casinos. And basically, like, if you say, "Oh, I would really like to have my poker chips have this stamp, these colors, whatever,"
Yeah.
like, because the process to make them is so like incredibly like labor intensive, like they have set dates. They'll say, "Okay, well, we're not going to have like um the circle square mold. We're not going to be using that mold until September of 2024. But if you put in your order, we will run your chips at that time and we will make them for you. So you have to wait until they actually fold that mold into decide to use it. And so there's all kinds of stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, I paid out the nose for and they make them, and the thing is that you can't, they won't make chips in certain ways because they're too close to looking like the actual chips that are used in casinos. So they won't make them then that way.
Okay.
But yeah. And okay, anyway, my whole point is that I got those because I really wanted to, and I got those. And then I have like a standard cheapo set. I have the Board Game Geek set. I have a couple other different sets.
We worked hard on ours. I think they're pretty good for the price.
They're excellent. They're awesome.
I think we still got them.
Yeah, I mean they're
We haven't reprinted those in a while. We probably need another run.
Yeah, no,
they just steadily sell.
Yeah, and the thing is that
Yeah,
you actually have all you have the perfect denominations for it and everything. So
not for my purpose.
Highly recommended. And the nice thing is yours aren't super heavy. The problem is that everybody's like, "Oh, I want my poker chips to be heavy." No, you don't.
No, you don't want them heavy.
You don't want them heavy because when you're carrying 1,000 of them,
yeah, you can't carry 1,000 in a case with, it's like a 40-pound case.
Yeah, so you don't want to, but everybody thinks that they want these. Oh, I want them to have some heft to them. No, you don't.
We're doing clay chips for Luthier. The follow-up game from the guys that did Distilled, and I want them to be heavy because they're the worker tokens. So there's 5 per player. There's not like
and that's a noticeable
sleeve, and they're only 30 millimeters too, so they're only like just over an inch. But they're gonna be like 6 millimeters thick, maybe 6 or 7 millimeters thick. So I really hope we can do it. I have no idea what the process is like or how much it costs, but we'll see.
Yeah, if you want to know, I mean, like if you basically go to Classic Poker Chips and like you go to their price list, you'll see like just how expensive they are, and they have a really awesome poker chip design tool. Like you can design how you'd like them, and like what colors you'd want, and how they look. And
I've been here.
Oh yeah, it's super good, man. I mean, it's super cool how they do them, but like, yeah, there's certain ones that are just like, yep, we can't make those because there's casinos that use those, so you don't get that. So next, just like, I don't know. It's, but they're. I mean, you're paying your premium though. I mean, you're paying $1 plus a chip. So
yeah,
and they know.
I'll be right back.
So then we'll play initials and you get back. So
yeah, then it's bedtime for me.
Yeah, you want to fight? It's like, and even their in stock ones that they have, like, oh, here's our in stock chips. You can get our in stock chips. Yeah, they're still, oh, you want 300 chips? Yeah, that'll be $495. And why? I mean, ultimately, like your chips are just like, it's a piece of plastic because there's no actual clay, but it's a piece of plastic. That just represents money. That's all it is.
Yep.
You just want to piss on everybody's shoes tonight, don't you, ladies?
Right.
No, I mean, it's just like,
what if last light didn't come with the planets? It's just a ball on a stick.
If you're gonna spend that kind of money on something, I mean, go for it. I mean, like if you have the money to spend and you want to get them and you play a lot of poker, I mean, it's just kind of like, go for it. You should do it, But
I was actually looking at the chips for excess and allies, but I was actually looking at the geek store.
Yeah.
Yeah. They left us, except for Anthony, but we never know if he's in or not.
I'm here.
I'd like to see the
Do you have,
chance to shoot bake.
do you have a grievance for us, Anthony?
No, but I did find a place where you can get 50-piece 2-gram mini striped poker chips
For $1.
for it's $4.
I mean, honestly, it's like everybody's like, "Oh, I want these small chips." You don't really want those. I mean, like, I'll be honest with you. It's just like it isn't. Just get normal sized. I mean,
They're 22 millimeters in diameter.
It's
That's not very
22.
big.
What is it? The minis?
19 was 19's 3/4, right?
Well, a standard poker chip is 39 millimeters.
How thick are they?
I don't know how thick these are. It didn't say.
ha.
Yeah, they look about the size of the center of a standard poker chip.
Where are you seeing these?
Discountpokershop.com.
Such a great name.
3.5 millimeters.
They're just like the standard, like striped ones, like the ones you'll see it like on the shelf and
Oh yeah, that's
everywhere.
what I've got that. Yeah, $30. It's hard to compete with that.
We'll try.
I'm not in the business of that.
All right, initials.
You
let's
know,
go.
gamers
here we go.
like to say they will buy something, and then when you get it, they do not buy it
Oh yeah.
if the price isn't right or the shipping is
My
yeah.
my local game store is totally like that same. He's like, if I had, it's like for every comic that I order, for every game I order, for every whatever that I order for these people, it's like it just seems like none of them like he's like 40% of them just sit here and nobody ever comes in and gets them. And I spent that money, theoretically somebody else will show up and buy it, but he gets annoyed. Which, I would be too. It's like, oh, I really want this game. All right, cool. We'll order it for you. I decided I didn't want it. That's
He
why we
chased
get.
fake Barry away, Lance.
What?
He chased fake Barry away. He was here, now he's gone.
Oh, was Barry here?
He was briefly. What's the initials, Lance?
BB.
Okay, thanks.
Damn it, I wanted to see how long you would hold the card up.
I can see it too, so I know when you can see it.
Can you? Because you sure have spent enough time trying to focus the damn thing.
Found in comic books. Number 2 has been mentioned in Family Guy.
Matt.
Go.
Betty Boop.
Okay.
I guess.
Number 3 features Belchers. Number 4 debuted January 9th, 2011. Number 5 features a restaurant on Ocean Avenue in a seaside community.
Anthony.
Go for it.
Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers, baby. I love Bob's Burgers. So good. Bob. The movie is really good too. Watch the Bob's Burgers movie. Yeah. All right, clue number 1.
Was killed by Sabretooth. Connected to Sabbath from 1970 to 1978. Allowed incoming calls to be received without a charge to the caller. Are bright orange. Connected to crashing.
Barry.
Go, Barry.
Black box.
Black box is correct. Black box.
Where the hell?
There's
If it
an
weren't
old
for the
Norm
airplane one, I
Macdonald.
would have never got that. Where the-
Norm Macdonald Chuck. Did you hear about that 12-year-old kid who stole
What's
that
the
plane?
first clue? Was killed by Sabretooth?
Yeah, Black Box
Yeah.
was a superhero.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. No, my bad Norm Macdonald voice. You hear about that kid who stole that plane, the 12-year-old kid, and he crashed it and he walked away unharmed? They ought to make the entire plane out of that kid. There you go. Number one is fictional.
That narrows
Has
it.
it? What?
That narrows it down.
Has appeared in Sports Illustrated.
Aldi.
Go.
Betty Boop.
Yeah.
Got me,
Number
Matt.
3. Connected to a well-known restaurant.
Anthony.
Go for it.
Big boy.
And number 4. Connected to Coppertone. Number 5. Often appears on Kate Upton, Tyra Banks, and Nina Agdal. Final clue. Is the home of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Anthony.
You already answered, Anthony.
Barry.
5. There you go.
Bikini Beach.
And
Come on, Matt.
Come on, man.
5, 4,
Got half of it, right?
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah.
Bikini bottom.
Bikini Bottom.
Bottom.
Okay.
Bikini Bottom. It's appeared in Sports Illustrated.
Horse in a house.
All right, here we go. Number 1. A 1993 made-for-TV horror anthology. Go number 2. Number 2. Tommy famously yelled this in 1984.
Anthony.
Go for it.
Body bags.
Body bag. Put him in a body bag. Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Good. I'm not stoned enough for these clues.
It's amazing that how quickly you recalled that, Anthony, just out of the blue. Tommy.
He's gonna need a body bag. All right, here we go. Clue number 1.
Yeah.
Has included Hall of Famers.
Great. Sports.
Not necessarily.
Clue number 2 is most commonly brown and white. Clue number 3 is 4 feet by 6 feet. Clue number 4 sometimes features a slide.
Did we call it?
Number 5. Features chalk.
Barry.
Barry.
Billiard balls. Is that what they call it? Yeah.
Final clue. This includes dirt, and it's near a plate.
Matt,
Go.
batter's box.
Is
Box.
correct. Batter's box.
I'm
Batter's.
surprised Anthony didn't get that one.
Yeah. Did you
Brown
fall
and
asleep
white
on
thing
us?
threw me off.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Which one threw you off?
The brown and white.
Yeah, it's not brown and white.
Well, the dirt is brown, I guess. So
And the chalk is white.
I guess that's
Chalk is
right.
what?
Sure.
The dirt is brown. The chalk is white. So together we learn to read and write. Clue number 1 is 31 years old. Clue number 2 has a spouse that has done prison time.
Anthony,
Go for it.
Betty Boop.
Oh. What?
He's more than
Swinging for the
31 years
fences
old.
here.
She's forever 31.
Ever.
Yeah. Isn't that 29?
Clue number 3 uses just one bar. Clue number 4 connected to the number 9. Clue number 5 his parents are Helen and Robert, but his dad changed his name to Roberto.
Matt,
Go.
this is probably not right. Barry Bonds.
I think the 31 doesn't work.
Final clue. Was the star linebacker for the University of Louisiana Mud Dogs in a 1998 comedy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Not even gonna give you extra time.
Adam Sandler,
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the
No
guy.
idea.
Waterboy.
Yeah.
Played
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher. That's it.
Oh, I can't remember that movie at all.
Here we go.
None of us can.
Yeah, what do you...
Lance and I are tied, I think.
Should I just... You know, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to... Here we go.
Anthony.
Go. No, Anthony, I haven't even started. Just stop. Clue 1. Represent an entity founded in 1855. Number 2. Excuse me. Clue number 2 was the runner-up in 2010 and 2011. Clue number 3 connected to Paul D. Tony Hinkle. Clue number 4 connected to Indianapolis, Indiana. Clue number 5 wear blue and white. Final clue, college team famous for Andrew Smith, Brad Stevens, and Gordon Hayward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yes.
I can't remember the team. It's Butler. What's the name of the team?
Bulldogs. The Butler Bulldogs. As soon as I saw it was like True Sports, and I was looking at the questions, and there was like sports. I was like, I can already hear Aldi going, this one sucks.
Oh, this deck is already
I
my
couldn't think of the
downside,
team. I'm
my
like,
bad side.
Butler. I'm like, what team is Butler?
I feel like there hasn't been one legitimate question yet.
Lance
Here we
has
go.
3.
Clue number 1. Appeared in 1991's King Ralph with John Goodman.
Yeah.
Number 2. Connected to Janine Garofalo in 1999's
Aldi.
Mystery. Go for it.
Bowling ball.
Bowling ball is correct.
Hey, there's one.
There you go, Scott.
Yeah.
I loved her bowling ball in that movie.
That movie was pretty good. I want more
So-
movies like that.
Not
Because
gonna
I just thought, I was thinking, so you said bowling ball, and I thought Big Lebowski. I watch, and admittedly, there's no way it could be real, right? But like they, a guy took the movie Con Air, and then he took basically, who's his face? I can't think of his name right now.
Nicolas Cage.
Scammy?
Yeah, Steve Buscemi as the serial killer in that, and they think he dies, but he actually escapes. You see, he's in Las Vegas, and he rolls the dice or whatever, and he's like, "Are you feeling lucky?" "Yes, I am." You know, whatever. And
Yeah.
so they said it's the same character. He won enough money that he moved out to California, and he's Donnie in The Big
Oh.
Lebowski, and they draw all these parallels. And they say, "Oh, do you think he went straight?" No, he's still killing people, because one of the things they say why he's still killing people is because each of, like, you see him, and Donnie's always like bowling, but he's got a bowling shirt on that doesn't have his name on it. It's like it's like all his bowling shirts are somebody else's bowling shirts, so he's killing bowlers and wearing them. Anyway, it was a cool little YouTube video. I mean, it's complete bullshit, but it was nice little fanfic and idea or whatever, if you will. It was a neat thought experiment or whatever. All right, here we go. Clue number 1. Commonly goes by another name. Clue number 2. First appeared in 1962. Clue number 3. Has PhDs in biology, chemistry, engineering, medicine, and nuclear physics. Clue number 4. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, he changed his first name to David, and was played by Bill Bixby on a CBS series.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Bruce Banner.
Bruce
You get the
Banner.
ties to Anthony?
He wasn't a tie. He was
I
like
called out.
He was like a
Bullshit.
second before you.
I heard Aldi first, actually.
Really?
No, I heard Anthony first.
It's fine. Whatever.
No, I heard Anthony
It's not
and
like
Scott
I'm
like a
going to
split
win
second
the
later.
game with Anthony.
Yeah, that's
I gotta
true.
beat Lance.
I think you gotta be fine.
Clue number 1. Song title for Eminem and Fish.
Feels like there's a lot of Eminem in this deck.
Clue number 2. Created by Thomas Harris. Clue number 3. Became famous in the 1990s. Clue number 4. His birth certificate was misspelled. Clue number 5. Went by aliases such as John Grant and Jack Gordon. Final clue. Ted Levine played
Anthony.
Matt,
Anthony, go.
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo.
I was gonna say that
Bill.
before this fucking clue, but I'm like, no, I can't be that.
Well,
Nicely done.
you would have been right if you had said it. Just to let you know.
Nicely done.
Yeah. There we go.
Here we go.
Clue number 1. Has multiple logos. Clue number 2. It's believed the name was created in 1936. Clue number 3. Have many retired numbers.
Anthony.
Go for it.
Boston Bruins.
Clue number 4. Have won many championships.
Boston Bruins.
Clue number 5. Often connected to the colors red, white, and navy blue. Final clue. This nickname is arguably the most common of all of the ones for the New York Yankees.
Anthony.
Aldi, go.
Blue Bombers.
Anthony.
Anthony.
3, 2, 1.
Anthony.
Bronx Bombers.
Bronx.
Oh, come on.
Bronx Bombers is correct. I might win this one.
Very
Very
well,
good fight.
probably good.
Number 1.
Draw.
That's right. Number 1. Flourished in the 1990s. Number 2. Connected to Richard Gere in 1980s American Gigolo.
Matt,
Go for it.
bell bottoms.
Number 3. Often used in athletics. Number 4. Come in different colors and patterns. Number 5. Famously connected to Mark Wahlberg in the 1990s.
Aldi.
Go for it.
Boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs, baby. Boxer briefs.
Not good. Not good.
You get the point. You're like, man.
Yeah, I'll take it, but I mean, I'm like, I don't like it.
Number 1.
So
Connected
Marky
to a-
Mark triggered that for you, Scott?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Here we go. We got 2 left.
What was his song?
Good
Good Vibrations?
vibrations.
Or what? No, was
I
it?
just watched Marky Mark and Father Stew.
That was a decent movie.
It was all right.
So, Aldi, if you
Yeah.
run the table, you tie. Just letting you know.
I think I should have 2 extra, but whatever.
Clue number 1. Even Kabuki Kid, the arbiter of reality, said Anthony was ahead of you.
Okay, whatever.
So, clue number 1. Connected to a bear. Number 2. Includes a spoked wheel. Clue number 3. Debuted in 1924. Clue number 4. Frequently travel.
Anthony.
Ooh.
I believe Matt got me for that.
I think Matt, but
Matt
you can go to the tape.
Yeah,
I
that
heard
was
Matt
really
Starr.
close. That was super close.
I believe Matt was ahead of me.
Yeah. I
All
heard
right,
that.
Matt, go.
Barnum and Bailey.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Boston Bruins.
Boston Bruins is correct.
The Boston Bruins.
The
Boston
Boston
Just like-
Bruins.
How many sports teams are in this stupid game?
This one was horrible. They had so many sports in this one. All right, here you go. Clue number 1. Final one. If nobody gets it, I tie Anthony. Clue number 1. Connected to the 2002 song Bounce.
Oh, that song.
Clue number 2. Briefly appeared in the FX series Rescue Me. Not a bad show.
Good show.
It fell apart towards the end, but it was good.
As they all do.
Yeah. Clue number 3. Known for the line, "We're on to Cincinnati." Number 4. Declined the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2021. Number 5. Named to the NFL 100th anniversary all-time team. Final clue.
Anthony.
Go.
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick is correct. Final clue was legendary coach of the New England Patriots. So
And that
not
still
anymore,
wouldn't
though.
have helped me.
Not anymore, though.
Is he anywhere?
That's
Has he
still
landed
good.
anywhere yet?
No, he hasn't. There was all those rumors he was going to go to Atlanta, but
No, he's going to be
All
in the TV guy.
he's going to do TV.
Oh, that guy? The personality of like a
He's actually, if you get him out of the press thing for them asking stupid questions, he's actually quite entertaining.
really?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen him that entertaining.
I've seen him on on sports shows.
Good night, Matthew.
By Matt,
Yeah.
where they're already out of it and whatever, and he's there and he's an entertaining guy.
Okay, you say so.
Like he doesn't like all of the extra BS around being the coach.
Yeah.
Like the press
Well,
conference.
he's probably in the wrong job then if he doesn't like that stuff.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them don't like it. Like the
Yeah.
stupid questions they ask.
And to be fair, when he started, it wasn't as bad. Like the press wasn't back there.
No,
as
it's
much,
always the same stupid questions they ask.
Yeah.
Like, how did you feel about losing that game by 40 points?
Yeah.
That's why I particularly love our head coach right now. So Mike McDaniels is the I don't give a fuck, I'll give you a stupid answer.
Who is this?
Mike,
The
head coach of the Dolphins.
I saw one
The
thing.
Dolphins?
I saw one thing where somebody said I forget what it was. It was like it was something like, hey, did you know that after it was week 10 of the season.
It was week 4, and they said, you've scored more points than anyone has scored in the first 3 games of the season. He goes, mission accomplished. See you guys next year.
Yeah, that was our goal. That was our goal the entire time.
That was our goal all along. Most points in 3 games. Mission accomplished.
And the person didn't know what to say. They were just like, just like, what? Yeah.
So why do you like the Dolphins?
I've always liked the Dolphins, but I like Mike McDaniel because he's got this attitude of like, all right,
Well, he's gonna be on his ass pretty soon if he doesn't. He's gonna be on it if he doesn't start winning. He's gonna be out.
I mean, start winning.
Oh, they made the playoffs.
They've won more games in the past 2 years with him on than they have with any of the past coaches they've had since.
You know as well as I do, man. It doesn't matter. You need. I mean, I don't know.
Go to the Super Bowl every year. Is that the bar?
I'm sorry, but I mean, like you're squandering talent right now. I mean, you don't. I mean, the Dolphins fell apart a lot this year. I mean,
we lost our entire defense to injury.
Well, and that's fine, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just like I'm all for the fact that we should get rid of Kevin O'Connell. I mean, I honestly don't think that our coach and our
You're not going to have a team next year.
No, we won't. I mean, that's fine.
Justin Jefferson's leaving. He's going to go get paid.
Well, they're going to pay him. I honestly, I mean, because the thing is that if they don't keep him, like they might as well. I mean, if you have to trade him away for like pennies on the dollar, like the fact is that they should have signed him last year, and now he knows he's got all the leverage in the world right now. So it's just like it's one of those things where it's like they should have done it and they didn't, and they're screwed, and they have to like come up with a ton of cash to give him because they know if they end up trading him away, Kwesi and KOC, they'll be gone. I mean, it's just like, oh, Quazy at least. It's like, oh, really? You took our generational talent and now and he's gonna go get, 2,000 yards receiving on some other team and set the world on fire. Everybody's gonna be like, fuck me. We had that guy, we threw him away. No. I don't know.
I think the one thing about the way Jefferson's handling this whole thing is he's like, you can offer me whatever you want. I'm not signing anything until you tell me who you figure out who the quarterback's going to be.
And he loves Kirk Cousins.
Oh yeah, but he's like I'm not. You can offer me whatever you want right now, and even if it's a lot of money, I'm not signing it until I know who the quarterback is.
I don't know.
I got respect for that, but
now they're saying we're going to trade Jordan Addison and try to move up to number 3. So I don't see it happening, though.
All I know is I believe that Caleb Williams is going to be the biggest headache for whoever ends up with him.
College football is just so tough to predict. 30. What was it? I saw it was 30% or like 30% of all first-round quarterbacks actually amount to anything. So I don't know. It's horrible. I hate it. I hate caring about football. I hate it so much.
We hear every week. My brother, we were actually talking about the NFL trying to expand in Brazil and Africa, and I was talking to him like he's been in South America a good bit for his job, and I was like, I thought soccer was a big thing down there. So do you think that it'll expand to these other countries?
No, it's not going to expand. They're going to have games. They're going to play games there. Not in Africa. They won't. Africa, if anything, they play like a preseason game. It doesn't matter in Africa,
right?
Just for the goodwill of it. But the thing about a lot of places is we are fascinating to other people around the world. We're just fascinating to them.
What do you mean, culturally or
no,
just sports in general?
Americans in general are fascinating to people.
Okay.
So like when I went to India, like some of the people, like one of the girls who was with us, blonde, everyone wanted to stop and ask if take a picture with her. People like walking down the street because they don't have blonde people.
They've never seen it. Yeah.
One of the girls was African American, and everyone kept asking. One of the guys was a younger guy, and he was very like, he had a very like hipster kind of look. He wasn't a hipster. He's a really weird guy, but like everyone wanted to take a picture with him because he was different. Like we're fascinating to people. So things like football, to play it in Rio, that they're going to do next year.
Yeah.
They're going to sell that place out because it's a fascinating thing. It's an American thing. And we don't get this here, and it's just fascinating. We want to go.
So is that like a one-off thing, or
it's like they play games every year in London.
Okay, I took it as the way my brother explained it. I took it as they were starting their own league down there.
They're expanding where they're playing the international games. So there used to be when they started doing it, it was only in London. Then it was London and Mexico City.
Yeah.
This past year they played in Germany.
Right.
Next year they're going to play a game in Rio de Janeiro.
Okay, I thought he meant that they were trying to start an NFL in Africa, South America.
It was a World Football League that lasted. What it lasted? One season, Lance?
One.
Yeah.
No, it was more than one. It lasted, I think, two. I was mad because Doug Williams.
Uniforms.
Yeah, the uniforms. And Doug Williams, Super Bowl champion, Doug Williams, coached the Scottish Claymores. And I wanted a Scottish Claymores jersey so bad. They looked horrible, but I just thought it was.
Was it the Dragons?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, the Scottish Claymores. It's just what a great name.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Lance, do you know about anything about getting a board game on Board Game Arena? Do you hire? Do you have to hire a
If
programmer? Do you get
they
a?
want it, they'll do it, right?
They want it,
They'll
meaning
do it all
BGA,
themselves. You just got to give
really
them all of the
assets
all the assets, and they'll do it
and the right to
themselves.
sell it. You don't? Do you have any cut of it, or is it just a?
They're very slow. They're very slow.
Well, I mean, I imagine it's hard.
Yeah, but
Yes. Oh, wait. Hold on.
the Scottish Claymores, an American football team based in Scotland. The franchise played in the World League of American Football, later renamed NFL Europe between 1995 and 2004.
Yes, there was but there were teams there was a team in I'm looking at this chart here.
They were World Bowl champions in 1996, baby.
The Hamburg
Ooh.
Sea Devils
I
and
did
the
not know about
Birmingham
this.
Fire and the Barcelona Dragons, the Amsterdam Admirals, the Berlin Thunder, the Cologne Centurions. Yeah, England was the Monarchs, the Frankfurt Galaxy. But then there's other teams listed here. What were these that aren't? Sacramento Surge, Orlando Thunder, Montreal Machine, Ohio Glory.
Ooh,
What is this thing?
I don't know.
Oh, the WLAF and NFL Europe.
I did not realize it was thing. I should have with the
Yeah, so
the
after
hockey team and the baseball or basketball and all that.
after they had the couple games and in London originally, and people they did very well, they decided to try to form a league there, and that did not go over very well.
Thanks, yeah, I imagine it would.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are officially the team of England.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, he wasn't. Douglas is the offensive coordinator. Douglas is the offensive coordinator for the Scottish Claymores, not the head coach.
Yeah.
So, my apologies for letting anybody down.
20-year-old thing. Oh, we lost him. What a shame.
No, if we lost him, we're going to lose us in a second. We're going to go off YouTube then.
Well, I don't know.
Does it start killing it?
Well,
I'm
it's
not sure.
his feed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still says,
Still says we're streaming, but
yeah. We'll see.
So I saw you did a video there, Barry. What was the video?
Who? Which one?
Yeah, you didn't you do a video recently? Like a
Scott, I'm a stoner. Come on.
I'm trying to remember what it was.
Coffee. You
if I could invite him back in if he can't get back in his own thing.
Again. Which one you talk about, Scott?
I don't remember now. Quacksequedlenberg or something?
Oh yeah, I just did that one. Yeah.
How'd it go?
Better than I thought it would. Doing two things at once, but
Two things at once.
yeah, I was drawing both and setting them at the same time to try and simulate simultaneous play. Went better than I
simultaneous
thought.
play.
Lance.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
We thought we were going to lose the stream.
That would be a shame.
That was really weird. That just I don't know what the heck happened there. That was really odd.
So, video game.
Hmm.
Helldivers 2.
Helldivers 2?
In a word, it's fucking awesome. That's 3 words.
That's 2 words, Scott.
That's 3. It's
well,
fucking
no,
awesome.
Fucking no,
It's so good.
What's the premise?
Like you are a team of 4. I've only played with a couple people though. I've not done a full team of 4. Dropping into a bug planet
Okay.
or a robot planet and just kicking ass. You have to do a bunch of missions. It's team based. Like you have to all accomplish the missions and get off the planet. Like you have to do a bunch of stuff and then get off. Like evacuate or whatever. Just great. It's a looter shooter. I mean, you don't get loot as you're playing it, but you get unlocks. Your character builds up. You get better guns, you get better abilities, stuff like that. It's pretty sweet. The first game was good too. I liked it a lot. Hard. This one's better.
Yeah.
It's third person versus 2-dimensional overhead, like I think it was third person perspective, far away camera. Now it's third person over the shoulder.
You
You're
play
like
on
closer
Steam?
up. What's that?
You play on Steam or
Yeah, it's
PlayStation?
Steam. Yeah, it's PC.
Steam.
I think it's on PS5. I think it's on all the platforms now.
It's not on Xbox yet.
It's not on Xbox yet. Okay,
I just
so it's on PS5 for sure because it has crossplay. But I mean, I just felt so exhilarated by it. Like I haven't felt that for a video game in a while.
Really. It's cool.
It's dangerous. Like it's hard. Like the game never relents. It's pretty good.
There you go.
Keeps coming at you.
So Sony owns the IP. That's why it's not on Xbox.
That would be why it's not on Xbox.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's some great stuff in there. It's fun. My favorite part of the game is when I accidentally blew Keith up.
Oh really?
And he bitched about it for like another hour. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to put my grenade there.
It happened. Friendly fire.
Friendly fire is a thing.
Yes.
But it's really, really good. I liked it. I've only played like a couple hours of it, but it's solid. Oh,
Actually, I played Memoir earlier this week for the first time. I enjoyed it.
in real life,
Yeah, I pulled it out.
It's all on BGA too.
I saw that. I'm thinking about doing a game on it. I pulled it out to try one of the expansions, the Mediterranean one, and I realized I forgot how to play the base game. Yeah, so I went back into that. It happened with Quacks. Originally, the video was going to be on the herb and witches.
Herb witches?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I realized the base game I forgot, and we played a lot of Quacks.
There's a 2-player coming out. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, I
Quacks
did. I
2.
was looking into it.
It's all different pieces.
Oh, is it? Yeah, it sucks.
We're trying to get them made as quick as we can.
You still have the Quacks bits? They are
Yeah, we
really
still
good
sell 'em.
bits.
Well, we
They
sold out
are.
right now, but yeah, we do sell them when we have them.
When you have them, yeah, they are really a really good upgrade. And I usually don't.
They're one of the best
do
upgrades
that.
we have. Now, I like the
Yeah.
wingspans too. The wingspan pieces are nice too.
I don't have
But the Quacks
Wingspan.
bits are really make the game way more fun. Like I never thought a game component would make the game more fun, but it really does.
The antiquity pieces were great.
Scott,
Yeah, I think we sold out of that, and people are asking about it. And it's like I think it took us like a lot of years to sell those, so I don't know if we're gonna reprint them. Like it took like 5 years, I think, to sell them.
Scott, the Quacks bags you have, are they the same material as the ones that come in the game?
No, they're microfiber.
Okay, what
Ooh.
I'm trying to remember what microfiber.
Yeah, so they're
is.
microfiber and they have no corners, so you can't hide in the corners.
Okay,
I
might
think
wanna
some
pick one
people
up then.
tend to hide in the corners.
Okay.
Oh, that white one. Let me put it over here in the corner and then never touch it again.
But I realized in that video is
Not that people do that. I know nobody I've played does that.
But I realized for me is in the video, I have a hard time feeling between the bag and the chips. My hands are fucked with the feeling. So
You have the chips too, or do you have the
I do have
pieces,
the
or-
chips, but when the bag is mixed up with the chips inside, sometimes I have a hard time separating the bag and the chip itself. So I was wondering if it's a texture thing or not. I'll pick up a set from the store when you get them back in. I do have an order coming for the store. I just gotta sit down and remember everything I wanted to do it all at once to see if I'm shipping.
So yeah, I don't know if our latest shipment was in Long Beach on the dock.
I was still sitting there.
Like in port, like still has not, because I think they had like this massive rain. I don't know if that's still a thing affecting things, but man,
it's amazing how one little hiccup. Yeah,
Is that how anything works?
pretty much anymore. Yeah. Like my neighbor, me and my neighbor. He bought a basketball hoop for his kid. The one, whatever, 8 foot tall, whatever the hell they are. They adjust the hydraulic thing. They got a weight on the back.
Yeah.
Said, "Can you help me put it together?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." I go over. what he didn't tell me is he's Frankenstein. It's between two different ones where their base is different from the top, and then there's drilling involved all of a sudden. And I'm like, oh Jesus! And he's doing this 2 hours before we're going to run out of daylight. Yeah, and I wasn't feeling the best. This since I got from back from Florida, the weather's just been jacking me up. But I almost lost it on him. I was like, why do we do this? He's going to play with this thing 4 times. Why do you do this? Just spend 20 extra bucks or whatever it is to get the real thing, just put it together. Don't have to worry about this. Yeah.
How'd your back feel after you're done?
No better, no worse. It's still jacked up. It's coming back from Florida was rough. Just it always is going from the warm to the cold again. But I started to get used to that, and then the weather's been up and down here, snow, and then it's up in the 50s, and then back in the snow and all that, and rain. I can't wait till summer, I guess. Spring's going to be rough with the weather. But
Well, what's better for you when it's just dry?
um, precipitation in general that bothers it doesn't always bother me. It affects me a lot. Like when we drove down to Florida, we were basically in a storm the whole way, about 8 hours, maybe 10 hours of the way down. But there was clearings in it, and I could tell the back would tighten up every time it got closer to when it would start and loosen up. Going through that quick doesn't bother me, but I can actually feel storms coming a day or two, depending on how bad the storm is. And that's just a gradual, constant tightening, you know. It whether it be snow or rain or even just like fog rolling in. It's and what I noticed lately is the aches and pains. It's something new. It's like in my joints. That's something new this year. So I don't know what that's about yet. The arthritis most likely, but
Old age.
yeah, yeah, and a lot of abuse in my body. But I had to do what I had to do at the time. But other than that,
Sucks.
yeah, it does.
Hmm.
But
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
actually, yeah, I'm actually looking forward
Yeah.
to a game day with my brother coming up next week. We're gonna play Access and Allies for the first time together.
Oh, cool.
So
Let
I
me know what you
said
think. I played that a little bit in the 90s. Not really that much, but
I never
it was
played
alright.
it until recently. Last year or sometime. I was like, I never played it, so I picked up. They have different versions now. So the one I got was like the entry level, 1941. The one I'm gonna play with him is the actual one, 1942. Um, and that's where I'm drawing the line. It's after that, it's a big time sink that I don't think anybody will really put into it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna make either, chili or gumbo or something and have a day. Yeah. It's we've been trying to my uncle just recently passed away. His funeral's this weekend. We were actually supposed to do it this weekend, so we put it off. We've been trying to get together since I got back from Florida. It just hasn't worked out. Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then the annual axe throwing thing, which I still got to schedule. Like I said,
You know
stuff
what?
came up. I take my brother, my sister, their family, and one of my uncles, and my wife, and we go out and throw axes at a board for a couple hours, have some drinks, yeah, some hors d'oeuvres.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's usually my Christmas gift. I at one point I was like, I keep giving you shit, you keep throwing it out, or it's, I might as well just have memories. or activities, you know. And we ended up on the axe throwing thing for the last few years. But the scheduling was off. The Super Bowl and all that always messes with it because the whether or not the Eagles are the playoff that does, and then the Super Bowl, you know, it's a pain in the ass with the scheduling. So,
Barry, how far are you from like Jersey?
from South, or yeah, from
South Jersey.
South Jersey, I am 15 minutes from what's that over there? Salem, Salem County, by Cowtown. I'm about 20 minutes from there, actually. Um, yeah, I'm about 45 minutes from like Cherry Hill and all that. That's up by Philly, though.
All right.
I'm closer to the south end of it, but on the western end, like not Cape May, all that, a little further up.
How far are you from Columbus?
Columbus, Jersey?
Yeah.
I don't know where that is. I'll have to look that up.
Rebecca's.
Okay.
It's in Springfield Township, wherever the hell that is.
Yeah, I'm still not familiar. I don't spend much time in Jersey. When I did, it was central or southern. It was like Camden County or you
Yeah,
know
my friend
Cape
opened
May.
a hatchet throwing place there.
Oh,
He's got a board game room and everything.
does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
He used to host the I don't know if you ever listened to the Not Just Another Gaming podcast.
No, I don't think I.
Okay. Well, Jim from that podcast has a place down there. It's called Howler's Hatchet House.
Where's
Yeah, they named it that
95 and
because
oh
he
no,
also
that's
runs.
up there. That's way
Yeah,
north.
he also runs a haunted house every year.
Yeah, no, that's probably about an hour. That's probably an hour and a half, 2 hours
Yeah.
down. That's up by Trenton. Yeah, that's way up there for me. I'm closer to the Vineland area.
Yeah, I think he lives
Portland.
like in the Cherry Hill area.
Yeah, that would be closer to him. But like I said, that's about an hour, depending on traffic, and they're about to rip 95 apart again down here. You know, it's a mess. Um, but it's not too far from my family. They're from Philly. Yeah, like I said, I'll look into it. We
So
go to this one called Bury the Hatchet. That's where we've been going for the last few years.
It's good.
But
Very.
last year it pissed me off. Um, I paid for two alleys because we had 10 people basically. So I figured five and five, we split it, whatever. And they didn't refill the wood on the one. And I'm like, oh, I paid for two alleys, you know, and I got this janky wood that the fucking axes keep bouncing off. Yeah. And the guy's like, we don't have any. And I'm looking to the left of me and there's a wall of it. And I'm like, well, what is this? And he's like, well, we use it for the tournaments. And I'm like, but I paid for two alleys. Yeah. So yeah, I might look into this one.
So they ran out of wood and they wouldn't give you any of the tournament wood.
Yeah, yeah. It pissed me off.
So what were you hitting? Just the wall?
Just the old janky wood that they didn't switch over for the tournament thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like it was split and shit. Yeah. I was actually going to go to I was looking into this blacksmithing thing where you can make like basically a knife without the husk on it or stuff like that. Me and my brother went to this Fort Delaware where we made S hooks out of like the old time guys did with the mount and all that. My brother was interested and he thought the family would be, but there was way too much logistics for that. That would have been out by like Hershey, so it would have been a house for fucking 10, 12 people, and then dealing with that timing and all that. Yeah, yeah, I'm not into that. But I was like, be here at this time, and we do this. You know, it's like I
Yeah,
ain't.
that seems like too much work.
Yeah, I'm not waiting for anybody. I'm not, be here at this time.
So, Aldi,
Yes.
how did you get out of Valentine's Day?
What? We went out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We went to the Wagamama.
What?
It's called Wagamama. It's like it came so we went to the first Wagamama we went to was in London in 2002. When Michelle and I first started dating, we went to Essen. We went to London, then we went to Essen. And it's a restaurant, chain restaurant called Wagamama. It's like Asian noodle stuff.
Okay.
That's good.
How long would you date before Michelle said, "I want to go to another country with you"? Just curious.
How long were we dating?
Yeah.
We started dating on just after 9/11. So, and that was 2002 when we started traveling. So 1 year, not
Okay.
even
Yeah.
about a year. But
Was
we
that
had
your
traveled.
first trip? Okay.
No, I think it was our second. We went to San Antonio
Yeah, I'm just curious. Like, I've
for a
never had that
weekend.
happen, but I'm like, how long would you have to be with a person before I'm gonna go to another country with it? Like,
For her, it was a year, about a year.
yeah.
I mean, it's not like I was jonesing to go to another country with her. It was like, Essen's coming. Do you want to go? Yeah, done.
I'll send the car.
Yeah,
So
so
this was when, yeah,
but
we
that
sent
one
her.
showed up
So
with roses.
this is when Essen had smoking,
Okay.
and she's got asthma. So man, it was rough. Um, wow. And I remember, God, so 2002. I don't remember what games were out then, but one of the days she didn't come in because she was just going to look around Essen and then come in later. Like a slow, come in late, afternoon type thing. And it was crazy busy. It was like I think it was the Saturday of Essen. And I sat there in a booth and I got a demo from a guy, and I'll tell you, God, what was his name? And he chain smoked in front of me for like an hour. And I'm like, I wanted to learn the game so badly, but this chain smoking was just killing me. Oh gosh, what was that? So
See, your life is not important game.
I ended up buying the game. It was basically a bunch of papers in a plastic envelope.
Bunch of paper in
Wow.
a plastic envelope.
God. Oh, it's Valentine Herman. Oh, he died.
Oh.
In 2014. That's a
I
bummer.
wonder from what?
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Fake Barry.
Oh, hey, man.
I
How's it
see you
going?
dodged initials. Good
I
for
did.
you.
I was going to click in, and then he said, "Oh, we're going to play initials when Scott comes back." And I was like, "Oh,
Told you to change ran away. So fake Barry, we were discussing earlier. What was the first?
Yeah, it was Valentine Herman. Died in 2014. Hopefully not from smoking, but who knows?
If I was
Sorry.
a betting man,
Very nice guy. He sat there for an hour and explained that game to me. Ave, A-V-E.
Sorry, Barry, I missed your question.
What was the first strategic game you remember growing up as a kid?
Classify a strategic game.
so it wasn't like
Yes.
roll and move. No, like a game that was like before like Catan and stuff came out, like stuff when you were a kid that was closer to a game that was a gamer's game than
A war game. Yeah. Before Catan, I was still playing Hero Quest. So I wouldn't touch anything else apart from Heroescape. That was it. I didn't touch any. I wasn't like big into those strategy games. Or
How old were you when Heroescape came out?
I was 17.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
89. Heroescape came out.
Oh, Heroescape. Yeah. I was thinking of something else.
Heroescape. Sorry, Heroescape or HeroQuest. HeroQuest.
HeroQuest.
HeroQuest was 89.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
Heroescape.
sorry.
Yeah.
Heroescape came out about 10 years later or so. And I was begging for more HeroQuest. I wanted more expansions. And I kept
Are
going
you
in
in
Toys
Games
R Us.
Workshop at all?
there was a Games Workshop in my town. So like on a Saturday when I had a Saturday off from my Saturday job, I'd be in
You work
town.
young? Were you a young worker?
I had a part-time job, so I was at college when I was 16. But Saturdays I'd work in the local supermarket, Sainsbury's, and earn me 54 quid a week, whatever it was at the time. And then on those days when I had Saturday off, was in town, buying CDs. I'd walk past Game Workshop, which was down the high street, and look at all the minis and shit like that. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I don't know what the hell it is. And that they actually were selling Catan at one stage, but I just ignored that. But one day I plucked up the courage to walk in and get talking to this guy in black. I don't know if his name was Death, but all the people that worked there were all dressed in black, and there was like in the background while they were playing on these maps, beautiful maps with painted minis and everything. And I was asking about it, and I said, what is it? Explained, and they said, oh, this might be a bit too technical for you, but this game's just come out, and they pointed out Hero Quest. And so I picked it up, and it became like a staple diet every weekend with me and my mates. But the strategy game, that's not a strategy game. You just stand in the doorway, you put the barbarian in the doorway, the elf behind, and just the evil player just has nothing else to do apart from approach the barbarian and try and kill him and knock his health.
Did you ever play
points down.
Warhammer Quest?
No. I got Advanced Hero Quest and Space Crusade, all from Games Workshop, all due to the fact that Hero Quest was such a cool game when I was a kid. But no.
We used to play Warhammer Quest like all night.
Yep.
It was so great.
It was quite
How-
the game.
How is that different?
I mean, it was. I think it's similar to a Hero Quest, but it had like a little more, maybe a little more to it.
Okay.
It didn't have
It wasn't as it had a little more story too. Like
Yeah, it had some like event things that would happen, and you would read a paragraph, and then you would populate the room with monsters. Like whoever had the lantern would trigger the adventure to go for like. And then if you left someone behind with the lantern light, they would be dead. Like if you were 2 rooms away, more than 2 rooms away, that with the lantern, you were out.
Wow.
So you had to be careful with the movement across the man. God, it was so great. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
But apart from that, I don't like strategy games. I don't like it's too much. It's too much. I like simple games. Games where you pick up the rules and it's either visually logic, and so you don't have to think about distance or whatever. So it's like Hero Escape it's visually logic.
Yeah.
From movement. If you're climbing up a hill, you count. Yeah, you don't need a stick.
And you have a stick that you can. Yeah.
No, you don't need a stick.
Oh, you don't need a stick.
You don't need a stick.
It didn't have sticks. I saw the red dot. You could hit it.
Yeah, you just had to put your eye line behind the characters, and if you could see from one eye line to the other,
any part of them.
Yeah, I thought there was like a little red dot.
There are areas that you can hit and areas that you can't hit. So wings you can't hit.
Yeah, the red dot is where you're supposed to be looking behind.
Yeah,
like
that's it.
The center of their head.
Oh, okay, is that what it was?
Yeah,
but yeah, no, everything else is basically if you can see on their outline and the thing, if it's not gray, you can hit it.
Yeah, Hero Escape's good.
It's coming back.
Did they actually decide to do it even after their like attempt to?
Renegade got the rights.
Millions of dollars or what they were going to do.
Renegade is doing it.
Someone else got it.
Yeah. Renegade got it.
Oh, Renegade
is.
Well, remember, Hasbro was going to reprint it if they had the $10 million.
They made a big deal. They got all the Axis and Allies. Yeah. They got a whole bunch of shit from them.
Right.
Yeah. They're a sinking ship.
Who, Renegade or
Hasbro?
Yeah.
Abandoned ship. Next to big Monopoly.
Did you see in Q4 they lost $1 billion?
Did they? Wow.
Isn't that crazy? I can't even. How do you fathom $1 billion? Like it's like can't
I'm sure it's tied into the
Crazy.
movies and all that stuff too, right? Or is that just a toy or the?
I've not looked. I just saw the headline that they lost in
Yeah.
Q4 $1 billion from the previous year, I guess.
I'm sure it's the
Previous
movies
quarter.
and the toy
It's
lines.
just it's just an astronomical amount of money. It's
Yeah.
just and everybody's like, how could they have laid off all these people? And admittedly, yeah, it sucks that they laid
Yeah,
off all these people.
$1 billion is like a lot of people.
Yeah. It's
A lot of stuff. Yeah.
Kabuki
Yeah.
Kid says toys.
Toys.
That's where they're hurting.
well because nobody
Yeah.
buys toys anymore.
Mm.
Exactly. Nobody bought any toys on Christmas.
Well, okay, you buy
You buy
toys.
Switch. You buy Game Boy. You buy Switch.
Yep.
You buy
Phone.
PS5s. You buy
I mean,
phones.
Mhm.
When my son was a kid, he wanted to get all the Imaginext DC superhero stuff, and I have boxes and boxes of it.
Is it a collectible thing or is it a
No, it was just like, oh, it's the Imaginext Joker plane, it's the Imaginext, Lex Luthor missile, whatever, and the little action figures, and we played with them all the time and just goofed around. I love it. I mean, I will never get rid of that stuff. I have a memory of like, I don't know what it was, but my son and I just had some time off in an afternoon. I think it was because his sister was in school and it was just me and him. And I was like, hey, let's get out of here and go do something. And like,
you want to get out of here?
well, no, he's like 4, right? And I'm like, and so him and I just got in the car and we drove over to our Toys R Us and he walked over and he still talks about it. He goes, yeah, I remember that. And like he saw this submarine, this Imaginext submarine, and he just wanted it.
Never
And I
heard
was just what?
I never heard of that.
So Imagine X
Yeah, I
was
did.
like the next level up from the Fisher
Price.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And he
Well,
just
that's-
and
Oh,
like
it's
he still
Mattel.
says he still says he's like, I
Yeah.
really want this. And it was like a bigger toy. And I was like, I don't know. And that was back when, Rebecca and I really didn't have a lot of money. And I was like, oh, but he really wanted it. And I dropped like, $35 on it or something like that, I mean, now it's like, who cares? But I mean, at the time, but I mean, and it's just like, but
Does anybody
kids don't get toys anymore. They play games on their phones. I mean, the number one thing that my friends, my kids, my son goes to a birthday party and they're basically just exchanging Roblox gift cards back and forth, or or they're giving people Xbox
Points.
gift cards, things like that. Just that's all they do. It Fortnite bucks, things like that. Nobody buys toys anymore.
No.
Oh, the adults do.
I mean,
Is it
honestly,
fast?
that's probably for the best, right?
Yeah.
Not for Hasbro.
I mean, those toys are plastic.
Really, Scott?
Well,
Oh,
I assume
wait a minute. Breaking
Isn't-
news. Let's
isn't
hit
plastic
Twitter with
like
this.
gonna kill us like at some point? Like the microplastics will kill us? Isn't that the thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
suffocation by
this
Barbie.
month, this year, yeah. Scott, we're doomed. It's going to be either we're going to fry, we're going to freeze, the plastic's going to kill us, the
Yeah,
non-stick's going to kill
something's
us,
gonna kill you.
something's going to kill us.
No, I'm just
We're
I'm
dead.
I'm being yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
the world is moving on.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Well, is there a place where, like you were saying, Toys R Us, and there was that other one,
Toys R Us is gone.
KB Toys? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is there
KB 's-
anywhere
yeah,
kids
there's no
could
toy stores
see
anymore.
toy? No. Where is
Yeah.
it like?
You know any toy stores? I don't know any.
Yeah, we got Maxi
Buy
Toys in
everything
France.
online.
It's all online. Yeah.
You have nice toy stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, we.
They're like an experience when you go to the toy store, right? I mean, it's not like I mean,
Remember
I guess Toys R Us-
I just remember that that super sad picture of when the Toys R Us stuff closed down. And it was Jeffrey the giraffe, the mascot, and he had a Hawaiian shirt on, and he was holding onto a suitcase, and he just
See ya.
See you
Well,
later.
when did they close?
Oh, it was like 6-7 years
Mitt
ago.
Romney's responsible for that, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah, I
They
did
tanked
believe
that
it was.
company.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Before the
they took a bunch of debt on it. Shut it down.
because there's a
Thank
store
you.
still
I mean,
in my.
I think that's what I remember. Maybe that'll be true. Take everything I say with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
There's
That's
a
what I just
store-
remember when he was running something about Mitt Romney is responsible for killing Toys R Us.
He's so nice as well.
His
that Mick Romney.
his badge fund or whatever he was doing.
Uh-uh.
For a Republican, he's nice.
Oh, I'll take him any day of the week.
Yeah. But yeah, there's
Romney
still a
Debate
store.
Capital has now plunged to 22. This was in 2017, by the way.
Bloody hell.
Bain Capital. What was the other toy company they killed?
Mick Romney killed the toy company. Mick Romney killed the toy company.
Blockbuster.
Oh, they bought KB as well.
KB.
They tanked KB.
They merged and tanked them, right?
Oh, I guess that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I hated Toys R Us. I mean, the only thing that they had was Heroescape.
I walked
Everything else was
into a Toys R Us and bought 20 boxes of HeroScape.
yeah.
And I had like 5 people with me just in case they weren't going to let me buy it. Each person had bought 5 of them.
Gaming the game back then.
But yeah, I hated it. You go to the board game aisle. I mean, this is like 2008, 2009 before I joined Board Game Geek, and it was like
BGG.
I was looking at all these games. Yeah, Board Game. Yeah, BGG. That
BGG.
wonderful site.
BBGG.
GGGB.
BBG's gotta get it right.
Yeah, I got COVID. Leave me alone.
Oh no! Oh bummer.
Yeah,
do
first
you?
time as well.
You're not in the bed? Oh, you've not had it yet? Oh my god.
No, this is the first time. It's like
Is this
2
your first
weeks.
day or what?
No, this is the second week.
Oh, you're getting over it.
Yeah, I'm getting over it. Taste
What
buds
do you-
are in and
Did
out.
you have like a
nose is
tough
blocked.
go of it or what?
I wouldn't say so.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
that's
had days when I was like, I felt like a vegetable. It's like
Mm.
I was wearing 3 layers of clothes, and it was like lift my arm up was to do that.
good. Yeah.
And then you just fall asleep at the desk. Lucky
Yeah.
I can still get
Well,
paid for that, but
that's good that it was not
Uh-huh.
terrible.
no, it's just a bloody extreme cold.
You feel
It
better?
was a little more than that for me, but yeah, I mean, it kicks your butt.
Yeah.
I don't think I've
So
had-
where were we?
Where were we?
Toys
Oh,
R
yeah,
Us.
Oh,
Toys R
do
Us.
you have-
Toys R Us. Yeah. I just remember
Game
looking
Capital.
at Board Game Geek and looking at the hotness list and then the top 10 games, top 100 games. And
Damn.
How
It's
would
like-
they know?
I can't find them in Toys R Us because it's all fucking Monopoly and Yahtzee
Yeah.
and
Hey,
then oh, man,
I bought 3 copies of Queen's Gambit at Toys R Us.
3.
Oh.
Where are they now, Andy?
They're long gone.
Long
Hmm.
gone.
I got a Queen's Gambit at BGG Con this fall
Oh, did you? Cool.
from the guy Lance bought the. What did you buy last year, Lance? That you were so proud of, from Zach.
No, you talking like about the white box?
The year before. Oh no, you bought it this year.
Yeah,
Didn't you buy something from him last year too that you were like very proud of?
I don't remember.
No, I think you
I-
got something in the flea market that you was.
Yeah, the flea market. I got the white box.
Last year. I mean, what about the year before?
The year
There was
before,
something-
I got an unpunched Magic Realm.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, yeah. So you got the white box and I got the Queen's Gambit
Yeah,
in shrink.
It shrank. Ooh.
The shrink
Have you
was still
opened
on it.
though?
I have not opened it yet.
Why
I'll
not?
open it. I'll open it and maybe take some pictures and stuff because I feel like there's not any really great pictures out there. I mean, there's a lot, but they're not like of modern era pictures. Like they're from the
Yeah.
iPhones from like when that movie came out, 20 or not even iPhones, like digital cameras in 2001.
Yeah. I'm curious at how the components held up and shrank over.
Yeah, I'll see if
20.
it's disintegrated at all.
Yeah, I'm curious.
That game came out in 2001. 2000.
2000. It's as old as the geek.
2000.
Yeah, so the Avalon.
2000.
So Nexus Ops, the Mansion on
Betrayal.
Haunted Hill.
Yeah. So
Those
we
were
did
all at Toys R
yeah.
Us.
Yeah, we did a that was one of our early marketing things we did for money with Hasbro. Hired us to do it was that Nexus Ops, All of those
Did it-
games in that line, the Avalon Hill remakes.
Yeah.
Gosh, what were the other ones? Wasn't there like a pirate game that,
Yes.
like, what was that? What was that called?
It wasn't the Piratology one though, was right?
No, hold on, I'll find it.
'Cause they had that one there too. I remember that.
It was Enemy Agent.
No,
Uh,
no, it was of the
Pseudo
Avalon
Pirate
Hill.
Edition.
It was Avalon Hill. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. It was Craig Van Ness was the designer,
Oh, right.
or no, it was Rob Davio.
Davio?
Yeah,
That narrows it down.
and it was not
Davio.
well received.
Seafall?
No,
that wasn't.
this is be before that. Rocketville. Rocketville was
Rocketville.
No,
Yes.
Rocketville was Richard Garfield.
Was there? No.
What was Rob's game? Rocketville.
Hold on, I'll tell you.
Rocket
Nexus
was
Ops.
horrible.
Monsters Menace America.
Monster
Betrayal
Menace
House-
America wasn't horrible.
No,
And
that was good.
Nexus
Vegas
Ops was
Showdown.
good.
Vegas Showdown and Sword and Skull.
I don't remember.
Sword and Skull was Mike Elliott.
Okay, yeah, I remember that one too.
But,
So we had this
I bought a
they,
bunch of those and sold them because
they were nicely produced. I mean, they were for a Hasbro game.
Yeah.
Nexus
And
Ops
I think
was the
Vegas
bomb,
Showdown
though.
was fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
Nexus Out was a good one.
Nexus Ops was good. Vegas Showdown. We played Nexus Ops a lot. We played Vegas Showdown a lot. I loved Vegas Showdown.
But that was
I feel
all.
like that game should still be around.
I can't
Yeah.
remember if I played that.
That was one of those things where, like HeroScape, when they started discontinuing it at Toys R Us,
Yeah.
because where I lived in the Bronx, there were
Vegas Showdown is ranked
several-
783 still.
there were several Toys R Us's. Some of them were in better neighborhoods than others. So, like the ones in the better neighborhoods, you could find almost nothing. But the ones in the bad neighborhoods, I walked out with 30 master sets,
Bloody hell.
Did you have 5 friends?
$1.99 a piece.
I remember I bought a bunch of them too.
And I loaded up 2 shopping carts and went up to the front, and I was waiting for the thing, and nope, didn't care. Let's get them out of the store.
Yeah, they don't want the money.
And the funny thing was, the lady who was checking me out was Hispanic, and she said to the other teller in Spanish, and I knew what she said. It's like, oh my god, this big game is only $1.99. I'm gonna get one.
Yeah.
And under my breath, I'm like, well, there are no more in the store.
No.
Yeah.
Who designed Vegas Showdown? Henry Stern.
Henry Stern?
What
My
else?
one regret is
And
not
nothing
buying
else but that.
the Marvel one, the Marvel Hero
amazing.
Escape. I didn't want it at the time, and then even when it was like €5, £5.
Yeah, the Marvel was not. I never played it.
No,
I bought it, but I never played it.
I wish I had.
Did you guys
because-
get the castle, the HeroScape castle thing?
Yes,
I had 14 castles.
What do you do with all this junk?
I still have it.
You still have it?
I had 14 castles. I had 12 lava sets.
You know the water is like valuable, right?
I have both of the waters.
The sparkly water.
I have the sparkly water and the regular water. I have the frozen sets, the tundra ones.
yeah,
I have the jungle sets.
jungle set.
Are they bringing it back identically, or are they changing it?
So this is what they're doing. So the rules are basically the same. So you can use the old figures and old cards and old stats and whatever in the new game. However, they're not play testing any of it against it.
No, so it's going to be like Pokemon cards.
So, and the one thing that they're coming
the
out
new
with,
stuff's not play testing against the old.
they're not play testing against the old.
Are
No.
they reprinting the old?
No.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
No, they may be like at some point they may be new
Copying it.
versions of units that were old, but the thing about the whole thing is like, oh, it's you can use the old stuff because you have it and you still want to use it and all that. But here's the thing: on day one, they're rolling out with organized play, which is great.
What does that mean?
So they're gonna have an organized play program, like how you in stores already. So if a store wants to organize play, this is how you do it.
Okay.
This is the official organized play, how you do it. The same way like Magic the Gathering has their official how you do Friday Night
How do
Magic.
they make that happen?
How do you do it?
Do they pay the stores to make that happen?
No. Basically what they do is they have an organized play package that goes out to the stores when they're going to order and say, this is our organized play program. Here it is, day one.
Got it.
So
Makes
day
sense.
one, when it launches, you can have an organized play event right there in the store.
Okay.
But
Wonder if that'll catch on.
well, here's the thing: if you're not play testing the old stuff against it, you can't use the old stuff in organized play. So
Don't care. Just want more terrain.
Hey.
I want 15 castles.
Anthony, what have you done with the 40 dragons?
oh, so so what I used to do a lot of times is we used to do a lot of tournaments here. So all of the ones that like in the master sets, because everything that comes in the master set is a unique unit.
Yeah.
You can't have more than one. I mean, I have a couple of them. I have extras, but I used to make like trophies. Or
Escape Dragon Trophy.
We used to have there was an event up in Massachusetts called the Beantown Beatdown. Ooh. And we had like 5 of them, and I used to make trophies, and I used to literally get like a soup can, and like I'd buy a bag of beans, and I basically would put mount the dragon on top of the can and have the beans like pouring out of the can on the side, and I would spray the whole thing down with engine enamel, so it's like hard as a rock to paint. And I would make trophies. Like the first Gen Con I went to, I made trophies for all of the HeroScape events that were there.
Cool.
Wow.
Cool.
What a nice guy.
Those plastic dragons went to good use.
Yeah. So I mean
they were gigantic. They were like this big, and the wings.
Like, cool! And I had so much of everything. Like it was like ridiculous. We played. Yeah. I remember we played one event once.
God, all those dinosaurs that died for that game.
Two of the guys played with nothing but zombies, and the zombies were really cool, but the zombies were extremely slow.
Yes,
and like the games are timed, so it's like okay, the game's at 45 minutes, and literally 30 minutes in, they had just reached each other.
Brains. Yeah,
it was hysterical. They both thought they were funny playing nothing but zombies because the zombies you can kill, you can regenerate them.
Oh, okay.
So, but they move so friggin' slow that they literally sat there and just.
I remember HeroScape's a pretty good game.
It is.
It is. It's fun.
Yeah.
I've never played
fun,
it.
and it's
easy.
Yeah, it's simple.
But
simple
it has
fun.
that thing in there, like the HeroScape's big thing is you can learn like the synergies of like, oh, okay, if I use this units and this units together, then this enhances this, and then this enhances that, and then I get to do this other thing. And then it's how you use those things against, what someone else is playing with.
Right.
And then there's the terrain. You can change the rules for the terrain. You can say, right, the water is 2 to move through, 2 action points. Or you say it's toxic. So every time you're in there, you lose a life point of your character. Or whatever. You can just change the rules of the terrain pieces. And it just makes the game interesting. So you don't need to like deconstruct your big map that you've just built. You can just use the same map, just change the environment tactics.
Did you guys remember the hot lava death controversy?
No.
So the lava controversy. The lava explain. What'd you say?
It's not a controversy. It's real.
No, I know. But they stickered all of Rob's face. So in the packaging for the lava expansion,
on one of the flaps,
under the flaps is Rob's face that says "Hot Lava Death." It's like a caricature of Rob Devia. Because when I interviewed him back in 2005, ancient history, he said "Hot Lava Death" in like a high pitched voice, and that sort of just went viral.
Toasty.
And then he they put it on the box on the game, and then they had to sticker that over, I guess, for some legal reason. I don't know what the hell. So if you bought the expansion and it wasn't there, it was covered with a sticker. But if you pull the sticker off, it's there.
Going back to Christmas presents for kids,
yeah.
I noticed there's a vast difference between my two because they're 10 years apart. My daughter gets all digital stuff, DVDs and stuff, and my little one's getting Legos. But the funny thing is, he doesn't want to play with his toys. It's like every day he comes from school, he wants to play a board game, which is great. So there's no point buying all this Lego shit. Just buy him some board games.
Why is that, Barry? I'm curious.
Sorry?
Why do you think that is? He just wants to spend time with you, or?
I think so, yeah. And I don't know. There's just something interesting in a board game that there isn't in a play figure or whatever. I mean, he enjoys putting Legos together. Some mornings he'll wake up and then you'll just find him in a pile of Lego with the book out, and he'll be going, looking for this piece, and he'll attach them together. But it's like when he comes home from school, he wants to play. He wants to have interaction. He wants to whip my ass. And it's like at the stage where he needs to learn to read to play the next level of games. So
I'm actually thinking about introducing my niece to him soon.
Yeah, just start simple.
I have a hard time understanding her sometimes. She's bilingual, so she doesn't realize she switches between English and Polish sometimes.
Oh, right.
And I don't speak Polish. Nah, Gaelic's dead. Or Irish is dead, basically. I read at one point Polish was like the second most popular language in Ireland, below English. Yeah, Gaelic is pretty much.
I put the link for Hot Lava Death in the chat.
Hot Lava Death.
If you've not seen it.
Yes. So back then when I started going to Gen Con, like the big thing about the Heroescape events was there was the one thing that was like the championship thing. So it was 2 days, and part of the prize package of what you won, not something big, was you got to play against Craig. So Craig would come down and hang out in the area, and then whoever won that last game would get to play a game with Craig.
Cool.
Craig's very nice.
He's like, this isn't really a prize, but
no, but it's an experience, isn't it?
Yeah. And Craig would be like, I'm just here to get my ass kicked by whoever wins.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's
played with the designer.
Games. I haven't talked to Craig in a while.
I haven't heard much from him either. He used to pop up like all the time, like just randomly and stuff. Yeah. Like, oh, I wonder what Craig's doing. And then all of a sudden, Craig would pop up somewhere. So.
Do you really see?
He released Risk Shadow Forces in 2022, and he's got a name. His name is credited.
Somebody was telling me about that.
That's not that long ago.
Oh, Sam Healy was telling me about that.
Oh,
something I should
can post it. I'll send it to you in Discord, Boogie.
Do designers do like interviews that much anymore? I mean, I know Candace has
fewer and fewer. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that it's hard to get people to watch it.
Is it?
I mean, if you do maybe the most popular ones, but man, I don't know.
Maybe it should be done in a hot tub.
In a hot tub?
People will watch that then.
Yeah, probably.
I was thinking about reaching.
I think board game media is struggling.
I think the hobby in general is good, but yeah.
I think the hobby in general is struggling.
Yeah. But
all I know is BGG is busier than ever. I don't know if that's. I mean, I don't know if that's representative of the hobby. No, I'm just saying. All I know is my bill.
All I know is the money keeps rolling in.
That is not true. The bill keeps going up, is what I was going to say. The bill gets bigger, which means more and more people are using the website, right? Like that's how I'm measuring.
Yeah.
I mean, I can check the prices. Like it's got a nice bar graph and it's going up.
More and more people are being connected.
So I don't know if that's real or if that's Bots killing me.
Ah,
Uh, oh yeah. Speaking of that site, did you decide which geek you're gonna lend me?
For what?
The video I want to do on the site. You forgot already, didn't
I've
you?
forgotten. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I'll
sorry.
get back to you.
I got like a million things going on here, Barry. It's
It can
hard. This
wait.
brain is like overloaded.
It can wait. John mentioned something about BGG today, and I forget what it was. I meant to ask you about.
Am I still in the Undead Viking Discord? Where is that thing? Oh, there is Alaboom.
That's an Alaboom Discord, weirdo.
Elbow.
You have a Discord?
Yes.
There you go.
Oh.
You're not part of
I
it,
don't use
obviously.
Discord, but that's good.
Neither do I. Yeah.
All
I
right.
think I
Let
signed
everybody
up
talk
for it,
once.
never used it again.
All right, it's almost 1. Probably time to go to bed.
Okay.
I'm start making some music.
You got make music?
Yeah.
Make
The
your
new
own
D&D
kind
adventure,
of music.
Eve of Vacna, Eve of Ruin. I
What
have
now?
it. The new D&D, the 50th anniversary adventure.
Cool.
Yes.
Anyway,
you wrap up.
Yeah. Just go back last slate. If you already backed it, go back it again. Ollie David Villa he has leveled up to true Alaboom fan. Rest of you, shame. Shame.
Okay.
But you can still make it. You can still get your tickets. You can still show up at the Gathering of Vikings.
You still go to Minnesota in February.
10 days. Oh man, it's like 40, 45 degrees like every day right now. It's there's hardly any snow. It's ridiculous. So I mean, this is the year to show up if you're gonna show up. So, but all right, everybody. Just I don't know, get some sleep. Be good.
Good night and God bless.
There you go.